Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Great to be with you. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming. Free always. You miss anything, hey, don't worry about it. All 3 hours going to be posted upon the conclusion of the show, both to iTunes and our own audio vault. You can always email the show if you like. It's JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at JCameronShow. WTSM app for your mobile devices. Good use there for your phones there, your iPad, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter if it's an Android or iPhone. Get that WTSM app. It's free. And whenever Tropos is causing you problems, you can just listen to the app and you're good to go. We're on YouTube as always. Hello, YouTubers. Good to see you. I can't see you, but you can see me. That's all that really matters, right? On YouTube, it's ESPN Tallahassee.
It'd be kind of weird. I don't know.
If I could see them.
Yeah, at their desk or whatever. Yeah.
Hey, Bob. You can also Periscope the show, and that would be on Twitter as well, at 979 ESPN Radio. I think I've covered all my bases. All right. We're getting there, kids. We're hanging in. It's going to happen. It feels more real to me now, though. We've got the pending ACC kickoff in less than, 8-9 days now? And
there you go, next Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be headed there. We're gonna be on vacation this after the end of this week through the next week, but it's a working vacation for me because I'm going to go up to Washington, D.C., and then fly into Charlotte in order to interview coaches and players and be a part of that. I'm excited this week, a chance to go over to FSU and kind of work with the guys that are going to be going to the ACC kickoff and get a sense of, give them an idea of what they're going to be experiencing.
I usually do have some time. Last year when I was in Halifax, I was able to send notes back and forth for the ACC kickoff. So I'll help you, man, from a pub. There you go.
Yeah, from a pub in Brighton, huh?
I'll send you some correspondence from a pub.
No, that's fine. And I listen, I always like this. This is really kind of a moment where you stir the drink a little bit. You get to feel for the upcoming season. And now you get anchored in because you realize basically once these SEC kickoff and ACC kickoff, all the Power 5 conferences have their kickoff, information begins to disseminate. You get a new story almost every day. And then really you've kind of, you've lit the fire. It's go time. And everybody gets excited about that, knowing that the next big step, frankly, will be practice. And when all the other obstacles have been removed and all that's left is for them to start practice, you feel like the interminable offseason is in the rear view and it's time to go. And that's really what we're rapidly approaching now. I mean, it's tough in June, but it gets a little bit lighter here in July, although this next, the reason we're taking the vacation when we do, it's the same time almost every year. When you get around All-Star break and all that, it's a tough time, man. This is when you got to be maybe kind of making your final arrangements for your non-sports life for a little while.
Yeah, this is we're in the dog days right now, but there's a lot of intrigue between, today and say whenever Fan Day is, because there's a couple of things to check off the list. The ACC kickoff is one. Fan Day has served historically, we'll see this year, as a media day for Florida State, when you get to go, kind of long-form discussion with the coaches and the players, learn their stories.
More access than ever before during that time. But maybe at this time, Tom, I'll only inject here that maybe it's different because we'll have more access during the course of the year. You just don't know. This was, under Jimbo's watch, really the only time to get in there and talk to assistant coaches and first-year players.
I'll be interested, and that is something we'll find out very quickly. When they send out the itinerary for the first couple of weeks of practice, what is open, what is not open. Will it be open to the fans in the mornings like it was in spring for the first couple, or are they getting right down to business? It could be just as restrictive. We don't know. Maybe it might be. Maybe it won't be. But then also for the administration, they've got to check the box with this facility, this practice facility. That's got to happen before the Virginia Tech game, because you want to put a video on the board during the Virginia Tech game with a rendering.
My man is always thinking about marketing. I love it.
Here is how you donate. Yeah. Here is how you contribute to the fund.
Yeah.
But that's got to get done soon.
Well, it's interesting because if you can get off on the right foot, I had a guy ask me last night. I've been out of town for the last few days, and I came back from the Bradenton, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete area. I kind of made my trek around there and running. You run into Knowles everywhere, and people will ask you, well, what are your thoughts? What do you really think is going to happen this year? Me and my family, we've been coming for 30 years, or we've been coming for 15 years, or, hey, it's good to meet you. I just, graduated 5 years ago, and I used to listen to your show when I was up there, blah, 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 blah. And, what are your real thoughts about and that cracks me up.
As though you're not honest on the air.
Right. Like, I come on the air and just give you a thought on a coach or a player that is diametrically opposed to what I really think. No, I'm going to tell you whether I think somebody sucks, whether I think they're great, whether this was a good hire or a bad hire. If I think it's going to be a disastrous season, I'll tell you that. That's kind of how the show has grown, is that we do that here. But I know why that question and why I'm getting that question so frequently. It's just that, again, Willie Taggart was not a big name in the coaching world when we hired him. He was a guy that was on people's radar as an up-and-coming coach, as somebody that a lot of people thought, man, if he gets to a big program, because I'm sorry, Oregon, you're just not, a real big program in the South in particular where he's from, that could be an interesting dynamic just from a recruiting standpoint. Is he ready? Remember, the follow-up question was, is he ready? He's going to be. Is he ready yet? And this was the worry when Florida, a lot of people thought Florida might be looking at him. And the idea was, man, they may hit a home run with that. They could hit a home run with that. That guy in the state of Florida already showing you what he could do at USF, given the fact that he's from down there. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, that would open Tampa up and that whole area. Somebody pull the trigger on him. That could be a great hire. But is he ready to be the head man at a program like Florida or Florida State or somewhere in the SEC? Which Florida is, of course. But that was always the follow-up question. So what happens is when your school is the one that gets him, all the people that thought that was an intriguing hire and perhaps a home run hire were also the ones asking, is he ready? Is he ready to be a guy at a place like this where there's a lot of pressure? I mean, look, you're talking about a top 10 program that is a destination program. It's where you'd want to be, unless you're Jimbo Fisher, where you want to be for life, right? This is the place. And there's a lot that goes with that and a lot of pressure that follows getting that job. And so you pull the trigger, you make the hire, and now the next question is he ready? Well, you've had an entire offseason to ask that question, and now here we are as we enter mid-July. It's real. That's the next thing. There's nothing else to talk about. Let's just get to it. But if you can win that first game against Virginia Tech, and I'm going to talk about Virginia Tech in a second, another setback for that program, you're in good shape because you can, and as you say, if it's in conjunction with some sort of discussion about what's going to go on in terms of the addition to the athletic program, to the football
only facility, if I called it the practice facility earlier. Yeah,
but the football only facility, I mean, if you're able to sell that along with some wins early on and continue that momentum that you've had in the offseason that goes along with recruiting as well, obviously things will feel like they're on the uptick in a big, big way. But if you stumble out the blocks early or you don't have an announcement like that or it's not a satisfactory one, you're right.
But we return back to what do you know, what do you think? And what we know about Willie is he's a good recruiter, really, really good recruiter. And what is the staff that he's hired? They're at least good recruiters. Harlan Barnett's got some chops, obviously, with what he did at Michigan State. Greg Fry, well thought of. Michigan fans didn't like him much towards the end, but who likes their offensive line coach? That's going to be kind of up in the air.
Standard, yeah.
But he's a Florida State tie. Odell, of course, the only undefeated head coach in Florida State football history. So you got that going for you. But it looks like he's hired a staff that is able to blend both recruiting and development. We don't know about the second part of that equation yet, but we certainly do know that they all can recruit. And they look dynamic enough, too, to like when he made his hires, and it took forever for those first couple of weeks to name a defensive coordinator, we all got nervous, and we said, okay, so he whiffed on Leavitt. Cristobal's not coming either. Who's he going to get? Like choice C? Choice D? But by the end of it, I think we were all pretty happy with the hires, saying to ourselves, this isn't a Charles Kelly situation where we're kind of staring at a wall for 3 weeks and then we just take the best available
already on the staff
person.
Well, and the only thing I would say is I don't know that he whiffed on Leavitt. I understand why you would categorize it that way. I think Oregon rightfully panicked and realized they were going to start from scratch and said no way, no how, and went all in on the two gentlemen you just named and said we're keeping our staff because we've got momentum going here. And, it sucks we're losing our guy, but we really like the job Jim Leavitt's doing. We really like the job that Mario Cristobal is doing. So we're just going to go all in and make it impossible for him to take them, which is what he was intending to do.
Right. He was intending to do that. And
Right.
you could tell, given the gap in time.
Right.
Remember, he came on, he was talking about, well, I hope to have coordinators by New Year's or whatever it was.
But once that happened, then yes, he had to start the process during an early recruiting period. I mean, that was very difficult. Yeah. And so, yeah, we were rightfully worried. But I do think, by and large, the majority of this fan base, with each announcement, however slow as it was, I think they thought, okay, I see that. Michigan
there's
State's
logic
defense
to
has
the
been very
hires.
good,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Walt Bell's an up-and-comer. At first, people scratched their head with Walt Bell. A lot of people did, Maryland, wait a minute. And then they went through and they looked at the record and they thought, I just don't know. But that was real surface-level stuff. Then they kind of did some digging and realized that this is an up-and-coming star in the coaching world and had a myriad of injuries to their quarterbacks. And, okay, so let's ignore that for a
Willie's
second.
going to call the plays, but then they get in front of a microphone for the recruiting party, the signing day party, and you go, woo, well,
Impressive.
you let any of these guys in a living room. I mean, it is impressive. But we're going to have to learn the quirks. I mean, we're going to be mad at least one of these coaches by the end of the season saying, I don't believe he's up to the task. That's just the law of averages, and that's at least one coach. But we got to find out what we do have here on a Saturday or, Monday through Friday in practice. What are they going to look like? Who's developing? Who's not doing their job? Who is doing their job?
And I don't want to overstate this next item here about what may or may not happen on a Monday night against Virginia Tech, but it's looking more and more like Florida State may not get the overall assessment that we were seeking for that first game in terms of on-the-field coaching, check marks, report cards, if you will, through one game against a stiff test that we thought we were going to get at the very least. Now, Bud Foster will put something together, and they'll figure it out. But there are real problems emanating out of Blacksburg right about now with yet another setback for Virginia Tech. And so all of a sudden, a team that you thought, could come in here as maybe a 1-point underdog or a 1 or 2 point favorite even, is now a team that Vegas is looking at and saying, I don't know. I think Florida State's going to have their way with Virginia Tech, and for good reason, because it has been upheaval on one side of the ball. I mean, really, primarily one side of the ball. So when we talk about the ACC meetings next week that I'll be at, and I'm going to interview Justin Fuente, I'm very excited to pick his brain, about what he's got, obviously, and about that game in particular, but really what he's had to deal with this offseason. I'll document that momentarily, but
It's a lot. There's an awful lot. The thing I have pause with this first game. If we win by 10 or 20 or 3, it's important that we win the ball game because it's a first game of the season where you're a little bit more sloppy. For one game, a coordinator can mask a lot of things, even if it is inexperience. And they got their quarterback back. I mean, if Jackson wasn't available to them and he was dismissed, well, that changes the equation here, but he's back. So you have an offensive-minded head coach with a quarterback who has experience playing in atmospheres like Doak Campbell, and you have an all-time defensive coordinator. I know, it's not good to shed whatever it is, 8 starters year to year. But for a one-game one-off, when we have a lot of variables ourselves, I'm not going to look at that game and say, oh, this is a shoo-in W now. You still got to go earn that thing. It's week 1. There's a lot of weird stuff. Alabama years ago, 2014, remember the West Virginia game that they played before we played Oklahoma?
Through the whole thing,
Yeah, that was an ugly-ass game.
Yeah, it was a weird game.
And they ended up being juggernauts, but not that day. You got to go out and earn it in week 1.
Week 1's weird. Always is. We talked about it last week, actually. We went through that, and Staples had written a story, and we were talking about how the Michigan-Notre Dame game may not really portend of what the season's going to look like for either one, but it'll feel that way in week 1, just as the Notre Dame-Texas game did. Mm-hmm. And we're playing in a similar game. You got a high-profile game with the nation watching, and, if it's a resounding result one way or the other, the inclination is to go, or, yay, we're great, and so neither may be true for both teams. But, hey, listen, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk here with Virginia Tech. I mean, every day another story that's a setback for them. I'll touch on it next. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
ESPN Radio Special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the Corner Pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. He's gone! Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, checking in to see how your summer is starting out. At Kraft Nissan, the deals are already hot with available 0% interest for 60 months on every new Nissan we sell. And all 2018 Frontier pickups have a $1,500 rebate plus 0% interest for 60 months. All 2018 Rogues are $4,000 off MSRP with prices starting at just $21,965. Note, I said all Rogues, not some, are $4,000 off. 2018 Versa S's start at an unbelievable $12,960 for a new car. But the true star of summer is the 2018 Altima. All Altimas, and we have over 60 to choose from, are $6,000 off MSRP. That's right, all 2018 Altimas are $6,000 off with prices starting at just $18,970. And as always, all Kraft Nissans come with our exclusive free lifetime warranty. So before you head off on your summer vacation, head to Kraft Nissan for unbeatable prices. Prices include dealer preparation charge, must finance through NMAC with approved credit, and take delivery from dealer stock.
The 15th annual Kingfish Shootout is almost here. The tournament is being held on August 4th and 5th in Carabel, Florida. Entry fees are $400 per boat, but with a sponsorship of $1,000 or more, you can get one free boat entry. Purchase a ticket for $100 to enter the boat raffle for a 2018 Nautic Star Flats boat valued at nearly $40,000. Ticket sales are limited to 350 tickets, so act now. There will be a mandatory captain's meeting held on Friday, August 3rd at 6 p.m., followed by a free dinner for captains and crew. To register, visit their website, SeaQuartersMarina.com, or call them at 697-8400.
O'Reilly. Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All Canister Wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 2 Armor All Canister Wipes for $8. Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All Canister Wipes. Buy 2 for $8 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Braves are putting the National League East on notice as they continue to play strong baseball as we roll into the summer.
Hit in the air and hit well. Left field and deep. And way out of here into the upper deck for Ronald Acuna's first Major League home run.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by AmeriGas Propane of Tallahassee, Bagel Market Bistro, and by Early Trucking Company in Arlington, Georgia. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. Just felt like I should do that. Don't know why. By the way, again, you can email the show, jcs@979espnradio.com. Great emails coming in today from my coworker and dear friend, as well as executive producer, Tom Wayne.
What did I do?
Oh, you just sent me stuff that I enjoy getting, like the schedule for football.
Like a, hey, buddy. with a smiley face.
Yeah, here's the schedule for football from ESPN. Here's the schedule from Westwood One. All of this later in the show we'll talk about. I'm looking forward to it, but it's just a fun check mark to make. Hey, got the email about the schedule. All right, we're getting there.
Fun.
You had to pause because you're eating.
No, I had to pause because I was waiting for you to.
You were getting in character
that was a timing
too, though, right?
thing. Yeah,
it was well done.
He pauses too.
He does. Effectively, so at times. Other times it's awkward and weird. But you need.
Sometimes he'll straight scare you.
You're like, is he here?
One day in the dugout, so he sits down, and everybody's getting out. This is Mike Martin. Everybody's getting the recorders ready and the cameras. And he lets out a sigh, and he looks down, and he goes, "Well," like that, and everybody
and jumps.
Everybody jumps. Jeez,
what the hell,
Mark?
What are we doing?
I mean,
I was gonna say if you called him Mark, he would have really been.
Well, I was so scared I didn't know his name anymore.
Come on, Steve, you freaked me out. No, so this is good news when we start looking at the schedule and we start as a station, really kind of making adjustments to what we're doing in the coming weeks because, well, football's arriving, and here we are. And so we were doing that today and going through the list of things that we got to get done. You know, it doesn't happen by accident. Got to have this stuff ready to roll. And this year we'll have more football for you on 97.9 ESPN Radio than ever before. In fact, no station's ever provided this much content from a football standpoint, really, ever. It's amazing what we have. And listen, I get it. Sports talk, it's radio, we get it. It's what we do. And you promote your station because you're supposed to promote your station, and I'm proud of what we do. But honestly, I'm looking at this more from a consumer standpoint. I'm looking at this as, okay, I'm a guy who lives in town, loves sports. I'm listening to this station because it's the sports talk station in town. What do you got for me? Well, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, literally everything this year.
Yeah, in the market's history, I mean, even the old place of employment, there were some limitations as to what we could do week to week. We had Westwood One in those days. And then Florida State football was on one of the sister stations at the time. But college football, we were a Fox Sports Radio affiliate, and there aren't many offerings for college football. So, Saturdays and Sundays, folks, are going to be wall-to-wall football, interrupted by pregame shows for home Saturdays, and that's about it. And then you have Monday night, Thursday night, in some cases Friday night football in the NCAA as well. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, in select games that are really, really the biggest that you can have. I mean, we're going to be able to play, for example, right out the gate, the Washington-Auburn game. We're going to be able to play those kinds of games for you. And, of course, we'll have the national championship at the end of the year. But, I mean, going through the list this week, already you can see that the ability to play and to put on, as Westwood Wood provides the coverage, the best games of the week in addition to all the other stuff we're doing is huge.
Well, they've done a great job. We partnered with them for March Madness for the last couple of years, and that's been great. Obviously, they were on our airwaves covering Florida State softball winning the Women's College World Series for the final best of three. The coverage for that was outstanding, too. But they wanted to partner with us for more. So Sunday night football, Monday night football, the Thursday night as well. All of the NFL playoffs, the Super Bowl. And then we have a big college football slate that includes also the SEC title game for Championship Saturday, so we can stack the whole day for you. And the Army-Navy game, which is near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, and maybe we'll be there. We'll talk about that later. All right, so I was mentioning a moment ago at the end of the last segment that Virginia Tech has had an off-season to forget. And given that they're our first opponent, and given that I'm going to interview Justin Fuente next week, I'm intrigued, to say the least. But Justin Fuente, aforementioned, said on Monday that defensive back Mook Reynolds has been dismissed from the program. Quote, in accordance with athletic department policies, Reynolds was suspended from all team and football-related activities during the spring, the school said in a statement. Reynolds, by the way, was an 11-game starter last year, sort of a hybrid nickel outside linebacker type.
Kind of like Star, before Harlan took over.
Yep. And the guy had 70 tackles last year, 7.5 tackles for loss. He was the team's second leading tackler, so obviously a vital piece to the puzzle there for Bud Foster. And that has been part of a string of setbacks for Virginia Tech in the summertime. They have now had to replace, Virginia Tech has on defense, 8 starters. 8. That is not unheard of, because Michigan's doing something similar. I think they had to right after our Orange Bowl game against them, where they replaced basically the whole team.
Yes.
But this is really, really rare. for the reasons that they're having to do it. I mentioned the 8 starters from last year. 3 players from that unit, you're talking about Tremaine Edmonds and Terrell Edmonds and defensive tackle Tim Settle. They left school early for the NFL draft. That's going to happen, especially if you recruit talent and you develop them, and they do, and you have success. You're going to lose guys here and there. So they lost 3 guys to the NFL draft. And then you had the Stroman kid and the other linebacker. Their eligibility expired from they were seniors. Their time was up. They were out. Brandon Faison as well. And then Adonis Alexander was ruled academically ineligible just last month. And then he had to declare for the NFL supplemental draft because of that. And, listen, this is a guy who had 7 interceptions, and he was a projected starter for them this fall. And then another potential starter in the secondary was a junior college transfer by the name of Jeremy Webb. He'll miss the entire season after suffering a torn Achilles tendon, just a random injury during a workout. So you have an inexperienced secondary and linebacker core going against Florida State in a new offense on a Monday night with the nation watching. And in addition to the dismissal of Reynolds, which I say again is a part of a myriad of trouble for them, they also had to replace their co-defensive coordinator, Galen Scott, and he was one of Fuente's top assistants. He resigned abruptly after it was revealed that he engaged in an affair while on the road recruiting. So personal matters for that guy, and he calls it a day and says, look, I made a mistake. I take responsibility of stepping away from the program. Well,
shouldn't have gone to Tampa. I don't know where he went. But,
yeah, that's a safe assumption. So he's gone. Then if you want to, you can add to the mix that Josh Jackson was suspended, their starting quarterback. Now, that was very brief, and he was quickly reinstated. But all of that was hanging over the program in the month of June. Now, he's going to be good to go when the season begins, but nonetheless, it was a unnecessary distraction. So Virginia Tech has had as bad an offseason as you can have before a game like this, with the opener being the way that it is. It's not some pushover and you can say, well, we'll get past it, I guess, and figure out what we got. Nope. They got to know what they got and find out in a hurry, and they're going to get tested right off the bat, one would assume, with an offense like this. And that's good news.
It's really good news, and it just makes it interesting as to what everything looks and sounds like next week at the ACC kickoff, because Josh Jackson will be in attendance in Charlotte. David Teal had come on and talked to you actually the day that the Josh Jackson news broke.
Yeah.
And he was of the mindset that at least the backup quarterback is piqued Justin Fuente's interest, so much so that in the spring he really wouldn't praise Josh Jackson all that much. So I find it curious that he decides now to bring Josh to Charlotte, because that tells me that this isn't a camp battle to be had at all. Your quarterback has been determined. So there's a lot of dynamics at play that even if you don't look at the defensive side of the ball and how many guys left to the draft, graduated, or have been dismissed, man, you've got a mess on your hands. You don't want distractions in June and July. But Virginia Tech, that's all they've had is extra stories. I'm sure that the writers up there are pissed. This is usually vacation season, and they've got to write a story, it seems, every 2 or 3 weeks about somebody getting kicked off the football team.
Well, and these lines will continue to change, but as an indicator of how things have shifted. Now, Florida State did surprisingly, when we got some of these line movements, over-under totals, season totals for all the teams. Again, you don't have to be a gambler to like this. It's just a gauge for what Vegas thinks a program is going to do or where they're at, and they don't make tons of money by being wrong all that often. So you look at that as one more way to inform yourself of what the projections are for a lot of big-name teams. And you also look at individual games like this early in the season. Like, what does Vegas think of Virginia Tech? What does Vegas think of Florida State in year 1 of Willie Taggart and all that? Well, they thought pretty highly of Florida State for this game right off the bat. I mean, the fact that when this game started, it was Florida State, I think, -3, -4 in some places. Depends on where you look at. I saw it as low as 2.
Could be that they knew a couple of these things were coming before the public did.
Could be, but they had Florida State a favorite. And so much so, in most places, they would have had Florida State favored at least by a point, even in a neutral site.
Mm-hmm.
So we realize Vegas feels better about Florida State than they do Virginia Tech. Fine, whatever. You're not going to harp on that. Got to go out and play the game. But that was back in early June, and now that line has moved to 5, then to 6, then to 7. Got as high as 7.5, 8 in some places. I imagine within the next 24 hours, again, I'll peruse all these things. I don't know that it's going to get much more than a touchdown, even with this latest news, but it has been one after the other in terms of setbacks for Virginia Tech. I could see this thing by game time being 8 or 9. I mean, it's nuts.
You think Phil Steele likes these guys? The Virginia Tech page in his magazine is just completely useless.
Yeah, he's like, oh, there we go. That's why releasing magazines this early sucks for me.
Yeah, the defensive depth chart is just
in shambles,
annihilated.
But Florida State will be, without question, a prohibitive favorite. Now, these things will change when camps get underway and we get to find out who's winning jobs and everything else. By the way, taking temperature here, I will tell you, it does seem, however gradually, that maybe Willie Taggart's complimentary comments towards DeAndre Francois the last 2 times he's been asked about him seems to suggest that most in this fan base now believe that he will win that job back from James Blackman. We'll see. We got all the time in the world to talk about that. But when you kind of gauge the email inbox, the Twitter feed, people you see out in public, you talk with people over there, there's this renewed sense that, okay, all is not lost for DeAndre just yet. If he's healthy, if he's ready to go, and, he looks better and better every day. Players will tell you that he's looking, he's starting to run with, briskly, starting to show that he can put some real weight on it and cut. So if he's healthy and he's prepared to compete and he's changed his attitude towards being a leader and being responsible and all those things, then maybe you get a sense that there is momentum building for him.
Well, what you flash back to in your mind is the Ole Miss game that started 2 years ago out in Orlando.
Which you could fall in love with him on that night.
We did. The montage was centered around DeAndre that next morning, and it was because Jimbo turned him loose a little bit, too, in that second half, out of necessity.
Yeah.
It also helps that Ole Miss defense was rough.
Nowhere to be found.
Right. But you got to see, the full complement of what he's capable of doing, and it is obvious, while Willie Taggart's offense could be run by a pocket passer or a mobile quarterback, it works better, obviously, if you have 2 threats.
Well, you'd like all your quarterbacks, no matter any offense you run, to be able to run. I mean, to be able to really scoot and be elusive and to move within the pocket as well as outside of it. So I think that's an added dimension, obviously.
What I'm fascinated by, and I don't know if he'll answer it, I guess it is a little bit different than Jimbo. He welcomes tougher questions. But I just wonder how much stock he puts into control of the locker room in his decision. Let's just say that you're close talent-wise, but the players trust James, and DeAndre may have outperformed him by just a little bit, but they don't trust DeAndre. Does that make a decision for you? Does that help inform your decision to choose, Frenchie or James? Or do you not care about that at all? Is it only about the product in camp? Is it only about what they do in practices and who actually earns the job rep for rep?
Well,
I just wonder how he places percentages.
Yeah, no, we'll find out, but I do think if it's even, it will greatly matter how the locker room feels about both guys. I mean, I think if you can figure out what the temperature is there, it's a very important thing if they're playing to an even standstill. But I think a lot of people feel like if all things are equal and the kid's head's on straight, DeAndre Francois will win the job. It would be a pretty big turnaround because I got to be honest, I didn't anticipate and they were all little things over and over and over again, but the little things add up, especially when you're a quarterback, and you have to be, by definition, a leader. You touch the ball in every play. You got to be willing to sacrifice for all those around you, and there wasn't real evidence that guy was, A, physically healthy enough to compete, and B, mentally stable enough, and I don't mean that as isn't to say that he's insane or anything, but just that he wasn't committed. He wasn't in lockstep. Which
also leads to a second layer to this offseason and into the year is he's going to have to change the culture of the program, not just, in one meeting in December when he's first hired. He's going to have to change it on the ground during the season when, old habits might rise to the surface. If we run into adversity as a team, what guys fall back into the Coach Fisher era lack of discipline stuff and which players stay the course.
I feel safe in saying that the quickest way to lose people early in your career as a coach is to kind of acquiesce to players who are not aren't in lockstep, as I said earlier, with the rules of the program that you've now set moving forward. I mean, obviously you come in, you establish a new norm, you tell everybody this is the way things are going to be, and then the second that somebody is guilty of violating those new rules, you have to come down hard, and you got to be unwavering in that. There really can't be much flexibility there.
No, I 100% agree with you. I don't think he's going to waver, will he, at all?
Right.
But I do think that there's a dynamic there that's going to be constantly at play. I mean, I don't think this is all over. I think there may be something that crops up. If DeAndre wins the job, I mean, for me, I'm not going to put him in ink every week. He's got to earn it every single week that he is the complete type of citizen and player that Willie wants him to be in order to maintain the starting role week to week. And I just wonder if anything from either DeAndre or other players that are veterans that kind of, under Jimbo, they did what they wanted to do, if he's going to have to mete out discipline as the season goes along.
Yeah, veteran players would be the only ones really testing that, right? Yeah,
correct.
So it'll be interesting to see. I guess you would say if a Nooney Murray or somebody like that.
But I think it informs the quarterback discussion.
Yeah.
It's not over. If DeAndre wins the job, it's not over then.
Well, no, you have a guy who had to start every game a year ago outside of the Alabama game and was put in a really untenable situation and had to weather the storm and take a beating and bear the brunt of frustration from fans and media alike and physically take an ass kicking every week because it was a sieve of an offensive line and we're running. I mean, just anyhow.
I bet that's the one thing he and DeAndre can really just bond over, James Blackman and DeAndre Francois. They can talk about the beatings they've taken in the last 2 years.
Yeah, that will be nice, right? To not see a chalk outline after every pass attempted. Won't that be nice? Get the ball out of a guy's hands quickly.
Boy, you think that Miami hit is something, DeAndre. Check out this Clemson hit from last year.
Well,
Look at that.
The Clemson hit early in the game last year against James Blackman. I thought he was dead. I was like, well, that's going to be a problem.
And he's dead.
And, yep, I did. I mean, he gets driven in. I mean, it's ugly. And you're just thinking, now, how tough is that kid, though? Weighing a $105 out there taking those beatings.
Well, both of them. I mean, the Miami game, remember the dirty hits, and Matthew Thomas answered for it and knocked Kaya's tooth out.
Will forever be an endearing figure. It's in a weird way to Florida State fans forevermore because revenge was his. He decided, okay, that's the kind of fun and games we're having out here tonight. I'll take your tooth. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Newcomb was responsible for 5 earned over just 3 2/3, suffering his second consecutive loss. Braves offense would get a run in the 5th as Dansby Swanson doubled and later scored as Tyler Saladino dropped an Ender Inciarte pop-up. Inciarte would later be taken out of the game, and here was Brian Snitker's explanation for the move.
Well, mainly because he didn't run, and it cost us a run. You got to run that. You got to be on second base there. You know, we got base hit, we scored another run, tight ball game.
Inciarte said he understood his manager's decision.
He did what he have to do. I mean, he's got to set an example and start somewhere. I mean, if I got to be the guy pull out of the game to show what we got to do, man, I'm okay with it.
The Atlanta offense finished the series without a homer in Milwaukee for the first time, becoming the first club since the '93 Tigers to not homer in a 4-game set in Milwaukee. Braves now head home off a 5-5 road trip and have tonight off before a brief 2-game interleague series with the Blue Jays starts tomorrow at SunTrust Park. With the Braves, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, lit by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Summer is heating up, and so are the Makita deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Purchase a brushless premium 5-amp-hour hammer drill impact kit and receive your choice of a free bare tool and a free 6-amp-hour battery. That's a $260 value free. Makita introduces one battery, one tool for all your outdoor power equipment needs. Buy a commercial-grade Makita shafted string trimmer and add any other attachment, plus receive a matching blower free. A $189 value for free. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener with 2 locations to choose from, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway.
And now Jeff and Eddie waste my time instead of recording a commercial.
Always with that guy and the time. It's true.
But then Lang showed up.
There you go.
I did.
Always.
Yeah.
Just in the nick of time.
Well, that's what I do.
It's timing.
Yeah.
It's important.
That's a skill.
The Sangria Gorilla.
He's been a Sangria Gorilla.
Yeah, guilty.
Sangria Gorilla from way back.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Hi, Chris Kraft asking for your help in raising money for the Big Bend Hospice. Big Bend Hospice needs a specially equipped high-top transport van for wheelchair and stretcher patients, and Kraft Nissan has committed to donating $15,000. But Tallahassee, we need your help. For every new Nissan sold now through July 31st, Kraft Nissan will contribute $100. Plus, we will match your personal check of up to $100 made out to the Big Bend Hospice should you choose to donate. That's up to $300 per new Nissan sold. You've heard of hospice, but until you have that personal experience, you have no idea of the depth of care and compassion that the Big Bend Hospice provides to all of us at no charge. Hospice is caring when there is no cure. Hospice helps families heal, and you can count on hospice to be there for you. And if you're in the market for a new car, not only are the deals unbeatable, and Kraft Nissan has 0% interest for 60 months on every new Nissan, but you're helping a local, invaluable community partner. So won't you please join Kraft Nissan and partner with us to help the Big Bend Hospice this month. One day you'll need them, and right now hospice needs us, Tallahassee. Let's make this high-top transport van a reality together. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Roger Federer advanced to a record-setting 16th Wimbledon quarterfinal with a straight sets victory over Adrian Manero. Federer lost just 5 points today. He has now won 32 consecutive sets at the All England Club. Serena Williams moved on to the women's quarterfinals with a straight sets win. She should be feeling pretty good about her chances to win an 8th title at Wimbledon, considering she hasn't even played her best tennis yet, notes ESPN's Chris Evert.
She, in her mind, is so confident that she can get better and better, and she's getting more feel on the grass. Those big serves are such a weapon. She's had 50% unreturnable serves, which is awesome, which is better than any other player that we can name. So all her weapons seem to be working, and her confidence is slowly coming back.
Baseball, the AL East leading Red Sox set to welcome slugger J.D. Martinez back tonight versus the Rangers. 7:10 Eastern on ESPN+. Martinez given yesterday off to rest after fouling some pitches off his foot Saturday night. Boston has won 6 in a row and 11 of its last 13. Astros shortstop Carlos Correa will be sidelined a 13th straight game tonight against the A's with a back issue. He has not participated in baseball activities in 2 weeks. The team, though, has not ruled him out that he could play before the All-Star break. Dodgers right fielder Yasiel Puig set for an MRI today on his oblique strain, likely heading to the DL. Manager Dave Roberts said that while Puig is out, Matt Kemp will likely get the lion's share of playing time in right field. 4 more members of the Thailand soccer team were rescued from the cave today. 8 of the 12 boys have now been brought up by divers. The boys and their coach have been stranded for more than 2 weeks after heavy rains flooded the miles-long cave network.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Alabama linebacker Vandarius Cowan has been dismissed from the team. That's right. You keep the dismissals coming all around the country, but right here, we're going to keep it on lockdown. We're going to be all right.
I was going to say, don't jinx it.
Yeah, no. Everybody else, you go ahead and start dismissing players. Coach Nick Saban saying Vandarius has been dismissed from the team and is no longer part of our football program due to a violation of team rules. Each of us has a responsibility to represent the University of Alabama in a first-class way. And failure to meet those standards can't be tolerated. We wish Vandarius the very best in the future. He was arrested following an incident at a Tuscaloosa bar last month, charged with misdemeanor assault after being accused of punching a 26-year-old man in the face. He played in 7 games as a freshman just last year. So, per our discussion about misdemeanor, felony, oftentimes the degree to which the law sees you're at fault can differ in terms of the importance of the charge, but a head coach can decide, no, that's a bit much. Got to move on here.
Yeah, I guess he learned the nature of how the punching in the face took place.
Maybe saw video.
Yeah, could be.
A lot of times it's the visceral, right? It's it's a misdemeanor charge here. I don't know what was said to him, and then you see a video and you go, oh yeah, well that's a problem.
He just ran up to him and punched him in the face.
We're gonna have to move on here.
It could be, and this depending upon the kid who commits to the university and whatever history the player might have. You have different rules for different players. 0 tolerance for some, and you're totally shocked by others because they've never appeared to do anything wrong up to the point they sign on the dotted line.
Right. So I don't know what the situation is there, and I'll stop speculating. We were just joking around there, but, he's done.
Yeah, I don't know that he ran up to somebody and punched him in the face out of nowhere.
Could have done it twice, Tom. Could have kicked him, too.
Oh.
He could have left stuff off the table there.
The horror.
Could have been way worse. At Jay Cameron Show, anything in particular that you take away from Willie Taggart bringing Akers and Burns to Media Day? Well, thanks, Ryan, for the tweet. No, and I knew about this last week, not to say, hey, I already knew this. No, but we're going to be doing some training this week. I'm going to go over to FSU and help out with that. It's not just me. There are other members of the media. And I think it's wise, by the way, for all schools to do that, to have kids kind of in every medium, sit in front of a camera and talk like you're on television, answer questions, go through a mock-up, if you will. And we're going to do the same for a radio interview before the kids go to the ACC meetings next week. And help them get a little bit more comfortable with what that looks like, what that feels like, and also teach them a little bit about letting things breathe and not having to fill all the time. And no, I don't think so. I interviewed Brian Burns last year, and he was a good interview and wasn't afraid and certainly seemed competent and understood, the situation, what he was being asked, took the time to answer carefully. Now, he was full of bravado and made some predictions that didn't turn out to be true, and he may get asked about that. In fact, I think he will be asked about some of the sack totals he projected for himself and the relative lack thereof. But no, I think that's a good choice. And as far as Akers goes, I thought about this morning with Cam Akers. And by the way, on warchant.com, if you go there, the hot button issues of the offseason, if you will, hot topics as they call it, that me and Corey and Ira are a part of, a new one is up. And one of them is about, this one was about relative strengths and weaknesses of the team. But we were talking about the running game and how Cam Akers could put up mind-boggling numbers in this offense. You don't even have to have a dominant offensive line in this offense. You have to have, certainly we're more concerned about their pass protection than we are in the running game because they're going to be in space and we're going to spread people out. And there are going to be opportunities to make plays, especially for a guy that can make people miss in a phone booth and run over people and has the speed to kind of really be the everything back that we think he will develop into and kind of was by season's end last year. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Cam Akers, we already know what he was in recruiting. He was a guy that everybody wanted, 5-star, can't-miss prospect, that whole thing. Came in, immediately impressed. Just from a body type standpoint, everything you saw from him, you said, oof, looks to be the truth, looks to be the real deal. Then he proved it on the field. He really, literally got better as the season went on. Went through that little lull where he looked tired and kind of struggled a little bit, but then got his second win and really dominated. More importantly, as we've documented on this show, got real patient, learned how to set up runs, learned how to set up big plays. And it was a wonderful mix of strength and speed and intelligence and everything you want in a back, vision. I'm telling you, I think he puts up gigantic numbers this year. He's just that kind of a player. He's going to be a star. People are going to be asking the question around the country, how does Florida State continue to churn out these running backs? I mean, you go on down the line, going back to Devonta Freeman, we can go on for a long time, but this run of running backs for Florida State has been truly special, and it's gonna continue to be this year.
Well, Chris Thompson would have gone over 1,000 in 2012 if he didn't get hurt in the Miami game. So, yeah, we've had quite – I mean, hell, in 2010, Jimbo's first season, we ran for 1,500 yards as a team with a three-headed monster, and he just played the hot hand each week. There has been somebody who is going to produce week to week for us, and it's just gotten better as time has gone on. It's funny, as the program became more mediocre, it seems like we're getting more like all-time great players at that position.
Well, you became really dependent on a Dalvin Cook to bail your ass out, yeah.
Well, and for me, this says everything about off the field. This says everything about Cam is committed, and I go back to the story I've told before where I talked to 24/7's Chris Nee about that class. This is before last year began, and I said, or I asked him, okay, of LeBourne and Cam and Saquandre White, the three new running backs on campus, which one do you think is the player? Because they're all highly rated. I mean,
and they're all really, really talented.
Right. And he said Akers without any hesitation. I couldn't finish the question. I said, well, why specifically Cam other than everything, the obvious? Because he likes hard coaching. He buys in, and it was a fit for Jimbo. It made sense that if Jimbo screamed at him, he'd like it. So he struck me in that moment, at least from that little tale, as somebody who's going to buy in and work hard. And I think this is another extension of that. Here comes Willie Taggart, and Cam Akers, the football player, is committed, and he'll do the behind-the-scenes work. And I think this is a reward for that type of behavior. So that would also, to me, indicate that Brian Burns is one of the people that Willie can count on.
I think it's very important, right, that he identify players that can really play on game day, but are also great leaders and have bought in to the new message. So there's no question that's what that indicates. You're not inviting guys that are second guessing the process
just because they're going to put up numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
No. You're gonna put in guys that are all in and are going to represent the university and take the right foot forward and all that other stuff, but are also really talented. I just think that, again, I don't want to overstate this because there will be growing pains, but Cam Akers is going to be one of the many backs, and this is a season in which there are several really, really good running backs for all of us to be paying attention to, from Stanford to Wisconsin to Georgia, of course, Florida State. Going down the list, there's so many talented backs out there. But this is going to be a season where his name is going to come up quite frequently. He's capable of the wow moment, the wow game, the one that, you're watching the roundup at the end of a long Saturday. Let's check out that Florida State game against Louisville, and the next thing you know, it's a 3-touchdown win for Florida State, and they're like, the story of the day is Cam Akers, who had 3 touchdowns, 222 yards total from scrimmage, and that's the kind of conversation I think is going to be centered around his days, his afternoons.
Makes me wonder if the all things being equal, if the run-pass splits are going to be 65-35
for the run.
Yeah, just because you have so many dynamic players at the position. I mean, Cam is great.
You can rotate guys, without
LeBourne
question.
announced himself in the spring now, and then you got Jaquez and Rasul.
Yeah, no, there is a lot of talent at that position. It goes on for days. That is by far the most impactful depth chart. And so, yeah, you're right, because you can really run a guy and then get him out of there, get somebody in who's very, very talented, and just really have an opportunity to – I'm telling you, there are some games this year that are going to get downright brutal for opposing teams. I mean, we haven't had a lot of blowouts in many years because of the style of play. You're going to see some ass beatings.
Yes, because the kid who comes in the third
is
quarter
running 4-3,
and he's pissed because he wants the starters' carries.
That's right. Yes, and the other reason is because you're Syracuse's defense, or your Wake's defense, or I'm sorry, you're just not good enough. Take this ass beat and move it along. That's what's going to happen. It's Jeff Cameron, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Gaming store in town has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Roger Federer advanced to a record-setting 16th Wimbledon quarterfinal with a straight sets victory over Adrian Manero. Federer lost just 5 points today. He has now won 32 consecutive sets at the All England Club. Serena Williams moved on to the women's quarterfinals with a straight sets win. She should be feeling pretty good about her chances to win an 8th title at Wimbledon, considering she hasn't even played her best tennis yet, notes ESPN's Chris Evert.
She, in her mind, is so confident that she can get better and better, and she's getting more feel on the grass. Those big serves are such a weapon. She's had 50% unreturnable serves, which is awesome, which is better than any other player that we can name. So all her weapons seem to be working, and her confidence is slowly coming back.
Baseball, the AL East leading Red Sox set to welcome slugger J.D. Martinez back tonight versus the Rangers. 7:10 Eastern on ESPN+. Martinez given yesterday off to rest after fouling some pitches off his foot Saturday night. Boston has won 6 in a row and 11 of its last 13. Astros shortstop Carlos Correa will be sidelined a 13th straight game tonight against the A's with a back issue. He has not participated in baseball activities in 2 weeks. The team, though, has not ruled him out that he could play before the All-Star break. Dodgers right fielder Yasiel Puig set for an MRI today on his oblique strain, likely heading to the DL. Manager Dave Roberts said that while Puig is out, Matt Kemp will likely get the lion's share of playing time in right field. 4 more members of the Thailand soccer team were rescued from the cave today. 8 of the 12 boys have now been brought up by divers. The boys and their coach have been stranded for more than 2 weeks after heavy rains flooded the miles-long cave network.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for listening. Hope you're well. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We are online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do miss something, it's okay. All 3 hours going to be out there on YouTube and iTunes and our own audio vault, so you're good. Email the show, jcs@979espnradio.com. How the hell did the players themselves overlook Blake Snell? Just an aside, I know we're not going to get in the weeds on all-star voting, but damn it, guys. Who's not paying attention to a dude that has an ERA of 2.09 and has won 12 games in the American League East with that team?
Yeah, I would think that anybody who faced him in the batter's box would be very aware of Blake Snell.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So, even the players sometimes get it wrong, which is weird. I blame the fans all the time because they're idiots, but players, come on now. Got to do better than that. That can't happen. I mean, I get the nature of the All-Star game because you have to have a representative for every team. Sometimes means you have to exclude somebody who's a lot better than another player. But, come on, this is obvious.
Yeah, but when you're one of the 2 or 3 best pitchers in the league.
Right, yeah, not be the case, right.
I know Garrett Cole made it, but no, there aren't many resumes that stand up to Blake Snell's. The problem is that nobody knows his name like they do a Chris Sale or a Verlander.
Well, and again, I would say if I'm a fan, all right, I'll forgive that, I suppose. You're kind of a slave to your market wherever you're at. You're indoctrinated by, weekly you watch the players that come in from teams in your division primarily and or your league. So maybe you don't know it, but players, the players should know that.
Striking your ass out is what he's doing.
He should know. By the way, one thing I'll note, because you guys don't care about the Greenbrier, certainly not to lead off an hour, so I won't get in this with golf, but go watch. I showed it to Tom. Go watch the post-round, final round interview with Kevin Na, who won the Greenbrier and got his second win on the PGA Tour, first in a long time. And this is a guy who'd gone through terrible yips and mental roadblocks. His pace of play was the subject of an awful lot of controversy because he literally had a Charles Barkley-like stop in his swing where he got so domed up that he would take the club back and then start to come and have to stop like 3 times and then step away from the ball and redo it. Much more severe than back in the day Sergio Garcia's grip, regrip, grip, regrip, grip, regrip, grip, regrip, where you're going, come on, my man. There's a lot of regripping going on here.
What are we doing here,
Sergio? I see you. But yeah, so no, that bothered people, rightfully so. No, my man couldn't swing the club and had to seriously go through an awful lot to get back. Anyhow, the point is he wins the Greenbrier, first win in forever. And that girl that I'm in love with that does all the interviews for the coverage, because she's just phenomenal, is talking to him and congratulating him.
Amanda Balionis.
She's special. Anyhow, she's I've got fondness for her.
You're so stargazing or starstruck that you don't see her name when it pops up.
I never see it. I just go, whoa. That's all. I'm being honest. Every time they cut to her and she's doing it, she's also really good at what she does. Sorry, I want to make that abundantly clear. But every time they cut to her, I just go, whoo, my goodness gracious. What a great interview.
And by then, the name graphic is off the screen.
It's gone. Yeah. I'm like, I should have checked her name. Anyhow, but she's interviewing him, and my man, wants the time to be able to talk to Koreans and say something to his fans there, and he does, and he breaks down, starts crying, and you're like, oh. Man, I mean, it was so heartfelt. I don't even know what he's saying, but it's so heartfelt.
Right, and then she says, congratulations.
Well, she's beaming.
Right, she says congratulations to him, and he goes, thank you.
Oh, he can barely keep it together? I mean, I'm like, Kevin, come here, man. Good job. Well, you didn't see it, and this will be the last of this, but for whatever reason, and it was funny because Faldo had something to say about it, and Jim had to kind of step in as to not offend the sponsors. But the round ended, and he was brilliant. Shot a 64, the whole deal, wins it. But to walk to the scorer's table to sign the card, it took 20 minutes. They're following him. He's walking off the course, walking down this long path, back across a parking lot, over a hill. Faldo goes, my man just walked 5 miles worth of golf holes today. You'd think they'd have the scorer's table somewhere near the event. I mean, he was pissed. and Jim's like, well, one of the reasons the scorer's table is where it is so that our tower could be set up here on 18. It was classic broadcaster.
Well, they're so far away, Nick, just because we offer free parking to the veterans here with our great sponsors at the Memorial Tournament.
So it made me laugh.
Yeah.
But he does. He's trying to, because Nick is not having it. He's, what are we doing? My man's been walking for an hour. But
he's going to have to walk to the coast to sign for his car.
I actually thought the same thing right when he said it. I thought, why is this man still walking? Good God.
It's like the ship in Spaceballs. It just keeps going.
Keeps going. So that did happen. But here's what amazed me was he's walking and the camera's following him the whole way because obviously it's a big win. And Ian is the first one to recognize that, he's getting emotional and it's been a long time. The next 3 minutes, he's walking and weeping. You're like, this poor man. A moment of privacy, please. It was something to behold.
So did he finish his 5K in under 30 minutes?
He was going now. Like, Kevin, good God. They didn't do you any service there. All right. That's enough about that. But go watch that interview if you want something that's uplifting. That's it. I'm telling you, it'll make you smile ear to ear. We began by discussing Florida State. I'll start this hour by doing the same, if only because I forgot to mention something. And I don't know if I like this. I understand why he's doing it. But there's the Saturday Night Live event. Have you seen this?
Yes. In fact, it's most outlets have it today. So I think this was a timed release, probably.
That would be my guess.
Every outlet has it today.
Promotion, sure.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, no, you're trying to. He's finally letting everybody know about it. Apparently, this has been in the works for a while. A lot of recruits knew about this thing, that this was going to be something that's happening. I know, this is such a get-off-my-lawn thing for me to say, but don't we already placate these kids enough? Good God almighty. Now we're going to do a primetime special where you come and 7-on-7 drills and have fans in the stands to cheer you on.
Yeah, the gist is because
I'm not going to be there.
He was, well, of course not. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
But at Oregon, he hosted this exact same event,
Yep.
and they had to move from the practice facility because they opened it to the public.
I don't think they'll have to here. There'll be 17 people there.
Into Autzen because they had 7,000 folks, and they're looking to get 10,000 people at Doak Campbell Stadium to watch the best recruits in the world play 7-on-7 stuff against each other.
Also known as losers. In terms of the people attending that. I mean, come on. What?
You got Matthew more than you got me.
I mean, what are we talking about?
I'm used to you. I got 6 years of this.
I mean, stop it. Good God. So sorry, I should tell you what it is.
That's the most you've ever cracked him up. He is beat red back here.
Willie Taggart's Saturday Night Live camp is coming to Doak Campbell Stadium, and FSU fans will be encouraged to attend. While recruits have been talking about it for months, the details of the high-profile event, I'm reading from War Chant, I should note, haven't come into focus until now, as invitations are being sent to the Noles top prospects for the 2019-2020 recruiting class. The event, which is expected to take place on Saturday, July the 28th, inside Doak Campbell Stadium, will feature dozens of the nation's top prospects and will be open to the public. The camp will run from 4 to 6 p.m., and fans will be encouraged to show up early for the free event. Last year at Oregon, Taggart's Saturday Night Live event drew thousands of fans and was a major recruiting success for the Ducks as they landed 4 verbal commitments. The event had to be moved to Autzen Stadium, as you noted, Tom, because of the large number of fans, quote-unquote, who attended. During the Oregon event, the prospects competed in the 7-on-7 action and also raced against other players in their position groups.
You don't think they're fans? They're normal fans?
I don't think so. Oh, man.
Enough of that jibber-jabber.
That's who's there. Yeah. The list of attendees will not be made public until closer to the event. Can you imagine these guys, the people that'll be going to that, waiting for that list? When are they releasing the list of kids that are coming to run? I mean, when are they going to be racing?
It's like they're Woodstock. You know, who's playing Woodstock this year?
Hendricks? Oh, my God, that's incredible. Yeah, they're going to be.
Thibodeau, the 5-star? He's going to be there, actually. The number 1 overall player, everybody.
Michael Morris is going to be sprinting.
He could be playing at USC, but you could see him here today.
Well, and again, you know, I got it. Yeah, that's okay, good. you got to do what you got to do as a coach. I'm not blaming Willie. I mean, got to cater to the kids that you're trying to convince to come to your school, and if you don't impress them, somebody else will, and if this does it, then I suppose you got to do it. It's the thing that I would like least as being a head coach in college. I get recruiting's the lifeblood, blah, blah, blah. But damn it, man. So now we're having these fake-ass games, 7-on-7. Look at how fast Willie is. Oh, way to go, Renardo. Run fast. You look great in shorts, Renardo. Can't wait to see you in pads.
Better not choose the Gators or else I'll hate you immediately.
That's exactly what I thought instantly. I thought, oh, great. Case for these guys to be out there, get vocal.
And I'll bet you that you'll have fans from other universities, of other teams showing up to this thing. Hey, don't worry about any of this.
Screw this place. Come be a Gator.
And then there's a fight in the stands.
Oh, yeah,
because,
this is gonna be great.
The affections of a 16-year-old matter more than self-control.
Well, anyhow, I had my ideas as to what that would look like, and I thought, I don't.
You call it like you see it, man.
Well, come on. There'll be plenty of well-adjusted individuals, I'm sure. They're taking in the races.
What are they taking in? What are they watching?
Well, I think the most on balance, well-adjusted fans of recruiting who invest greatly in the long-term success or projected success of their program would tell you that they want to get a sense for the kids that have verbally committed and that are going to be Noles.
So they want to scout.
They want to, yeah.
The kids that may choose their school or not.
Yeah. They're breaking it down. They want to be able to tell the other schools, also diehard recruiting fans that.
Well, I saw him.
Yeah, I saw him
at Saturday Night Live.
I was at Saturday Night Live, and I'm just telling you. I mean, I know you think you're getting. Because they want to be able to refute.
They can rush to the message boards and hear my observations from SNL.
Well, and they want to be able to. that's right. And they want to be able to tell those guys. So, like the guys that don't say yes to Florida State and they go to a rival or they go somewhere that they're frequently involved with smack talk. They want to be. Oh well, I saw him. He's a garbage player. I mean, that's why when we went there, we were shocked. Now, listen, I got to be honest with you. I watched him run.
No, that's true. You know what? They should set an over-under at War Chant for threads started on the recruiting board for my observations from SNL. I'd set it at 4.5.
That's low. I'll go over. I mean, that
we'll have to keep tabs on this.
Okay, we will keep tabs indeed. What do you think the attendance is going to be? What was it at Oregon?
7,000, according to one article. They said thousands there in the War Chant article.
All right.
I mean, announce attendance, or are we going to have somebody actually take a photo of this thing and we're going to assess it?
Oh, no, there'll be photos. I mean, lots of people will be covering it, as they should. That's their job. I got it. I'm glad they do, so that way I can sit at home and then look at the article later and say, oh, that's good. It looks like so-and-so was fast.
I want to know how many of my kind.
Well, no, I'll be able to read that and go, oh, looks like Akeem Dent's really fast like we thought.
Yeah, but Noel 124, he's going to tell you about Akeem Dent's ability compared to, say, the other 3 or 4.
For a 5-star, I didn't like his hips. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
IRS again. Our average client settles for about 10% of what is owed. We offer free face-to-face consultations in your local area. Call 800-727-0433. That's 800-727-0433.
Hey, I'm Jeff Doxey, Realtor for Capital Property Consultants, representing Premier Fine Homes. If you're thinking of owning your own brand new Premier home, call or text me at 850-545-4747 or email me, jeffdoxey1@gmail.com. You say where, I'll be there. Your Canopy Connection.
The Southside Farmers Market at the Walker Ford Community Center, located at 2301 Pasco Street, is now open every second and fourth Thursday of each month. Join the City of Tallahassee and shop local foods. Enjoy live entertainment, cooking demonstrations, and free health screenings. Everything from seasonal fruits and vegetables, seafood, and more will be for sale by our local farmers and vendors. Sip a smoothie and see what the market has to offer. So head to the Southside Farmers Market every second and fourth Thursday. To learn more about the market and its future dates, visit talgov.com/farmers market. Join the City of Tallahassee at the Southside Farmers Market at the Walker Ford Community Center, 2301 Pasco Street, every second and fourth Thursday.
Barry knows cool, he's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool, you can put him to the test.
Summer temps in Tallahassee can mean extra stress on your AC unit. Let Barano Heating and Air Conditioning help with their Total Comfort Service program. Visit BaranoAC.com for info. You'll also find money-saving rebates, energy-saving tips, online scheduling, and more. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Call 580-4029. License for CAC 057652.
Summer is heating up, and so are the Makita deals at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Purchase a brushless premium 5-amp-hour hammer drill impact kit and receive your choice of a free bare tool and a free 6-amp-hour battery. That's a $260 value free. Makita introduces one battery, one tool for all your outdoor power equipment needs. Buy a commercial-grade Makita shafted string trimmer and add any other attachment, plus receive a matching blower free. A $189 value for free. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener with 2 locations to choose from: 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway.
At Superlube, we pride ourselves on keeping your car maintained properly with our 20-point inspection. And right now at Superlube, take advantage of our half-price fuel system cleaning service to help restore engine performance and enhance gas mileage. Superlube offers quick and convenient service, and you'll never need an appointment. So come into Superlube today, get your oil changed, and a whole lot more. Superlube, with 19 area locations, there's probably one right around the corner right now.
How I love to Superlube my car, yes sir!
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hey, listen, this is cool. I've got something new with the MyPillow ad. No, it's new, and it's saving you money if you want to purchase a MyPillow. As always, go to MyPillow.com. And also do as I've mentioned before, which is enter the promo code 979ESPN. But here it is. It's the best offer they've given us so far. Or in this case, you go to MyPillow.com, click on the buy one, get one free. Yes. Use the promo code 979ESPN. Straight up, buy one, get one free. And that's as good as it gets right there. I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
BOGO.
Yeah, a little BOGO offer. So you, who doesn't like that, by the way? I buy things I don't even need because it's BOGO. Well, I guess I will get 2 peanut butters. You can't.
We're set for the year.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
How fast does peanut butter go in your house?
Wicked.
Yeah?
Wicked fast. Because I got 2 little boys who rightfully like peanut butter, just like their dad. And we're some peanut butter eating fools. I'll put peanut butter on just about anything. Peanut butter's delicious.
So the Camerons love hugging and peanut butter.
Yep, without question, we do. I'll just walking around on a Saturday, just after lunch, just before, dinner, we got a little time in there, growing boys, they're hungry. I'll make you a peanut butter wrap. All right, Dad. Good job.
And you hug it out.
There you go. Promo code 979ESPN. Of course, you can always call if that's your thing, 800-944-6596. Just as long as you use the promo code 979ESPN, and you got to just click on the buy one, get one free special. I love the pillow. Still do. I've had it now for some time. Still sleep on it every night, last night included, and it's still really comfortable. Hasn't lost its shape, and you can still wash it. Has a 10-year warranty. You can still dry it. Made right here in the good old US of A, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, you can always return it, but I think you'll like it.
Have you found that anxiety for travel has gotten worse as you've gotten older?
Personally?
Yeah.
Okay, so we build things up in our brains, and they can be everyday mundane things that we've done a lot, but if we don't do them frequently, one of the things that happens is we attach anxiety to them because they break our habits. So, we're ruled by habits, unfortunately, good and bad, right? And a lot of times, if you're doing something that is out of the realm of what you do every day, it seems like it's stressful. It feels like it's something bigger than it really is. How many times have you had it in your mind that traveling, in your case, you're going to England, so it is definitely outside the norm. But just the act of going to the airport, you feel anxiety. The sense that I'm going to be late, even though you've left in plenty of time, or that something's going to be wrong. You're going to be delayed. We build up all of these scenarios in our mind that are going to play out because it's all out of the realm of what we're accustomed to. And so our brain, which is a chaotic place anyhow, this is a whole of this bigger conversation about fear of death. We're the only creatures that know we're going to die. But anyhow, that said, those kinds of little things add up, man. And yeah, I think as you get older, you become more of a creature of habit. And so anything that disrupts that bothers you. But I always remind myself of that. I always say, you're just flying. You've flown hundreds of times. I mean, you flew 13 hours one time. You flew whatever, you're going to be fine. It's just a flight. You're going to get there in time. You're going to park. You're going to go walk through. You're going to show them your ID. You're going to check your bags in. You're going to get on the damn plane. It's going to be boring as hell as it usually is. You're going to read your book or listen to your music, whatever it is you're going to do. You're going to land. You're going to get off the plane. You're going to do your business. You're going to get back on that plane. You're going to come home. Nothing's going to be weird. It's a normal thing. But in your mind, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, there have been points in my life where I traveled a lot. When I first got out of college, I was in either Tampa or Atlanta, it seemed, every other weekend. I mean, I was just in the car and I was going, and I loved it. But as I'm getting older, it's not about a fear of the plane crashing into the ocean or something.
No, I'm not even saying that. It's just that it's out of the realm of what you ordinarily do.
It's damn annoying. And I was wondering if, as you get older, I mean, obviously with the kids element, that's got to make it infinitely tougher. But just for your own personal sake, does it get worse? Because in my 20s, I loved it. Like, where to next?
Yeah, no, what happens is I think that traveling, and let's apply it to sports. Let's apply it to this season, for example.
That's difficult. Well done.
But it also works because I've thought about this season. I've thought about, and this is an interesting one for Florida State fans because there are plenty of games you're going to want to go to on the road. If you are a huge fan of your program, and so I suppose this could be applicable to a number of teams and fans that aren't Noles, but in this case, it's especially true for Florida State because – if you're not living here like we do, you're going to travel up to the Virginia Tech game. I mean, that's a great game. It's a huge, we're going to have an event on a Sunday night, which we've talked a little bit about. We'll talk more about it, but that's going to be a great weekend. You're going to want to spend it with your friends in Tallahassee. If you've lived here or you went to the school or you're just a fan who's frequented it over the years, it's a chance to spend a little prolonged time in Tallahassee. So there's one you're going to do. You're going to meet up with your buddies. You're going to tailgate, do the whole thing. So right out the box, you've got this, it's looming. Virginia Tech. That involves very real travel for a lot of people. And then at Louisville might be one you'd want to do if you haven't done it yet because that place has changed an awful lot in the last 10 years, and that is a pretty cool place to see a football game, and a lot of people want to scratch that off the list. But if you're not going to that, you're probably going down to Miami. And if you're not in the state, you're flying. I mean, that's, so you're going to Miami, so you got another flight. I don't know how many people want to go to NC State, but I know a ton want to go to Notre Dame. I mean, that's one you want to do if you're a fan of college football and you didn't go the last time we were there. You're going to want to go. And by virtue of the conversations I've had with alumni and fans everywhere that are having a hard time finding a way to get a ticket to that game without spending an exorbitant amount, it's safe to say lots of people want to be at that game. There's another one that you're going to travel to. So a minimum of 3 to 4 games just this year alone.
Right.
Times that you're going to be traveling. And, yeah, because trying to organize that, if you're organizing 4 flights within the span of a few months, yes, because you got all that is stressful. Yes, that's stressful. But general travel, no.
Okay. All right. So general travel, if you're getting in the car, you're making a weekend trip of it to, like you just did. You just went down to Bradenton.
No, I'm more stressed leading up to, I guess, the actual day that we take, we leave. Mm-hmm. Because with kids, you got to have food, you got to have toys, you got to have things that they're, to keep them occupied so you don't have to hear them.
Yeah. No meltdowns.
Yeah. So in that sense, there's a lot of preparation that's involved.
When's the last time the boys have had a meltdown on a traveling itinerary?
They have little snippets of moments where I have to say the classic, that's it, one more time, I'm pulling the car over. But usually that's the end of it.
But they've since passed, like you're in the car for 2 hours and they're just wailing away. There's nothing you can do.
No, there's been none of that. They've long since passed that. That is long. Oh, God, you just reminded me what a great thing it is to move past that. No, they're fine in the car. We drove all the way back from Washington, D.C. last year. Straight through.
Straight shot artist, that's you.
Yeah,
yep.
Straight through.
And you got here, 2 hours earlier than the
than the thing said.
Projection?
Yeah. But straight through all the way back, and it was just it's funny, and I think even people who travel for game day and you've got kids at that age and you're bringing them to games, there's a way that you have to present things to kids and sometimes to adults, depending on what stage of life they're in. But there's a normal travel day where everybody can kind of handle the situation, 3 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours. You'll make it. And then there's the one that, even as a veteran traveler, this is a toughie today. We're going to be in this car for 13 hours together. That's
coming home from the ACC meetings a couple of years ago.
This is going to test.
I enjoy our job. I enjoy our quality time together. This drive home, it's always about the drive home.
Yeah, the drive home hurts.
Oh.
Yes, I remember it. We did it. And it's good to know that you're going to need to take a deep breath. It's good to know that you got to just kind of.
It's the NC State fan in 2013 and his wife, Mary.
That's it, Mary.
After the first quarter of the
game.
We're
leaving. We're out of it. We're going to beat the traffic. This sucks. What? We just get in the car.
It's 35-0.
We're down by 5 touchdowns, Mary. I'm leaving.
It's the first quarter.
This is not going to get better. Look at these two teams. They're not playing the same game. Our kids are cowering in the corner. Get in the car. This was a mistake. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Run-hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
The 15th annual Kingfish Shootout is almost here. The tournament is being held on August 4th and 5th in Carabel, Florida. Entry fees are $400 per boat, but with a sponsorship of $1,000 or more, you can get one free boat entry. Purchase a ticket for $100 to enter the boat raffle for a 2018 Nautic Star Flats boat valued at nearly $40,000. Ticket sales are limited to 350 tickets, so act now. There will be a mandatory captain's meeting held on Friday, August 3rd at 6 p.m., followed by a free dinner for captains and crew. To register, visit their website, seaquartersmarina.com, or call them at 697-8400.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
The Braves are putting the National League East on notice as they continue to play strong baseball as we roll into the summer.
Hit in the air and hit well. Left field and deep. And way out of here into the upper deck for Ronald Acuna's first Major League home run.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by AmeriGas Propane of Tallahassee, Bagel Market Bistro, and by Early Trucking Company in Arlington, Georgia.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Roger Federer advanced to a record-setting 16th Wimbledon quarterfinal with a straight sets victory over Adrian Manero. Federer lost just 5 points today. He has now won 32 consecutive sets at the All England Club. Serena Williams moved on to the women's quarterfinals with a straight sets win. She should be feeling pretty good about her chances to win an 8th title at Wimbledon, considering she hasn't even played her best tennis yet, notes ESPN's Chris Evert.
She, in her mind, is so confident that she can get better and better, and she's getting more feel on the grass. Those big serves are such a weapon. She's had 50% unreturnable serves, which is awesome, which is better than any other player that we can name. So all her weapons seem to be working, and her confidence is slowly coming back.
Baseball, the AL East leading Red Sox set to welcome slugger J.D. Martinez back tonight versus the Rangers. 7:10 Eastern on ESPN+. Martinez given yesterday off to rest after fouling some pitches off his foot Saturday night. Boston has won 6 in a row and 11 of its last 13. Astros shortstop Carlos Correa will be sidelined a 13th straight game tonight against the A's with a back issue. He has not participated in baseball activities in 2 weeks. The team, though, has not ruled him out that he could play before the All-Star break. Dodgers right fielder Yasiel Puig set for an MRI today on his oblique strain, likely heading to the DL. Manager Dave Roberts said that while Puig is out, Matt Kemp will likely get the lion's share of playing time in right field. 4 more members of the Thailand soccer team were rescued from the cave today. 8 of the 12 boys have now been brought up by divers. The boys and their coach have been stranded for more than 2 weeks after heavy rains flooded the miles-long cave network.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Notre Dame is only a 5.5-point favorite. I was looking at Westgate Sportsbook in Las Vegas, releasing updated spreads for a bunch of games. Imagine that's what during the break. If you guys wonder what we're doing
in your spare time.
Yeah. How much do you think we're favored over Syracuse by?
Over Syracuse, it's up there. It's a nooner 11.
9.5. You're taking the Noles and giving.
Oh, yeah.
All right, first glance, FSU minus 3.5 at Louisville.
That seems about right.
Miami's favored by 5.5 over Florida State down in Miami. I'll take the Noles getting the 5.5. Clemson favored by a whopping 10 in Doak.
Really? 10 points?
Just brutal.
Brutal.
They're like, yep, not much of a game.
They're just rubbing it in.
Yeah, little 10 action. Ouch.
Ow.
Yeah. Florida State favored by just 3 on the road at NC State. So that always, the bugaboo is the bugaboo.
That's a context line. Yep, should be.
I am surprised really only by a couple of numbers here. And we'll see if the Florida State-Virginia Tech number moves. But FSU is only a 5.5-point favorite over Florida. And that's really the first thing that stands out to me as I go, whoa, goodness gracious. Okay, I will give that 5.5. Because I'm with you on this. This isn't so much a referendum on whether or not Dan Mullen will or will not become a good coach there at Florida or do a good job. I like Dan Mullen, and I think he's up against it a little bit from a recruiting standpoint within this state, but I think he is a good game day coach, and they're going to get quality quarterback play in his time there at some point. That's just what he's done. So, but in year one, the talent difference is pretty great and an awful lot for him to overcome. And so I'll take Florida State and give that 5.5 against Florida all day long.
So these are bettable numbers. You could get the ticket now.
You can do it now.
That's fascinating because so many things change between weeks 1 and 3, let alone by the end of November.
Well, right. You could have, but that could work in your favor or against you completely. I mean, if I take Florida State, given 5.5 to Florida and there's a myriad of injuries and, you're on your third string quarterback, even still, you'd feel pretty good about that. I know, especially here.
Especially here is right. I knew you could bet on win totals. I just didn't know that you could bet on a specific game in week 12 or week 13 before the season even started.
Well, right now, if you want to bet Florida State over 7.5, you can certainly do that, and that's where they've got them pegged for Florida State. I mean, the expectations of different, whether it's Las Vegas or different places you want to go. Offshores, right? This is not going to be a great year. And yet the vibe in Tallahassee is that this is going to be a great year, or it's the start of something really, really good. I do remain fascinated by the conversation about win totals because I do think there is a divide in the fan base, and this is not a contentious one. This isn't a problem where you got people yelling at each other about whether or not you keep a coach, fire a coach, hire this guy, not hire that guy, whatever it is. This is more about what is reasonable. I ask this question of every fan base. When I do the SiriusXM show, I ask this because I always want to get a feel, and I ask it here locally of this team. What is a reasonable expectation in year one for Willie Taggart and Florida State with this schedule, which is, according to every outlet that covers college football, one of the stiffer schedules, toughest tests of any program in the country this year? And when you talk to people locally, when you talk to fellow Noles, that there is a divided group. You've got a lot of people that think, listen, the team last year didn't play hard. It was a lost season. You had injuries. The coach had checked out. You have no idea what some of those guys who didn't have good years are capable of. And I'm going to safely assume that this staff brings out the best in all of those guys, and we see a transformation and the way that people play that were well thought of at the time that we assessed them, evaluated them, recruited them. And the uptick in whatever production you think is going to happen on offense with the implementation of this new system is going to lead to some eye-opening numbers, and that includes in the win column. I can understand that argument. I, to some degree, have made it myself. And if you are to say that, listen, you saw a team going through the motions last year and they won 7 games. Going through the motions. Their starting quarterback got hurt. They won 7 games. And the number's 7.5 now?
Right, that's the thing. If Francois is healthy for all the games last year, all 12, what do we win, 9, 10?
9 at least.
Right.
I still don't think it would have been a good year.
No, well, I mean, you're winning in spite of a lot of things.
Right.
That's what we found out is, if you're just trying to evaluate what's on the field in the 11 and college kids being motivated and all that kind of stuff by itself, Francois adds at least 2 wins to that schedule. You're going to beat NC State, right out the gate after that. That was a really sloppy game.
You should have beaten Louisville anyhow.
Right. Would have beat Miami.
I
mean,
should have beat Miami anyhow.
Right. As it stood, we kind of did, and then we gave up 2 game-winning drives
back to back
to that quarterback.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, independent of all that, we learned it was almost like the key to the door that let us see in the coaches' offices.
It was crazy.
When the quarterback went down and morale was shot, it allowed us to see the coaching staff situation, call it that to be kind.
Yes.
For what it was, which was complete dysfunction. And I wonder if Francois had been healthy and the team was allowed to do whatever
it would have masked that problem that existed anyhow.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think the compelling argument for a 9 or 10 win season, even in the wake of this schedule, is that you've got now a unified bunch and a group that's going to buy in. Football is such a game of passion because it's a hard damn game to play. You don't have to be all that passionate to play ping pong, but you have to be very Brad Johnson would be angry at me. You have to be very, very passionate to play football because it requires of you an awful lot of toughness and inner strength and mental toughness and fortitude and all that, and you got to be willing to get hurt and get up and then, deliver pain and receive pain and go and go and go and go despite your body telling you that you're exhausted, and you've got to do unpleasant things, especially if you're on defense. Got to stick your head in there and sacrifice your body so somebody else can make a play. These are impossible tasks if you're not passionate about it. They're impossible to do consistently well if you're not passionate about playing the game. You've got to want to do a lot of things for football to be something that you have fun at. You got to want to sacrifice. You have to be committed to pain. You have to be committed to sacrifice, whether it's free time, fun outside the football field. You got to take away things that the average young man wants to engage in. And that's because you need 100% focus almost at all times to be really good at playing the game of football. So all of that was off the table a year ago. And all you had was sheer talent. Disjointed as it was a lot of guys that are just really talented. And sometimes that was enough. When you're playing the Wakes of the world, you're playing the Dukes of the world.
Right.
That was just enough.
So, lack of condition physically.
You weren't emotionally
lack
invested.
Of commitment mentally.
Yes.
And a lack of coaching presence.
Yes. And they were disconnected and had inner turmoil. You had coaches screaming each other down, getting allegedly in fistfights. You had one coach yell at another coach, the head coach, within earshot of fans who could tell you they heard it verbatim.
During the Miami game.
To F off.
And that was at least once or one of 2 times.
Right. Okay, so that kind of dysfunction was present at all times a year ago. And you threw a quarterback out there that had been on campus for an hour and said, go get him, kid. And you won 7 games. So, yes, this is a more difficult schedule because you now add to it Notre Dame and Virginia Tech. I got you. But, when you're adding all that up, and if you believe, and I think it's fair to, the evidence seems to suggest as much, that they're invested, that they care, that, a fire has been lit, and they believe, and they're willing to do the things that we just talked about, which is sacrifice around every turn to get the most out of the aforementioned athletic ability, yes, you could argue that they'll win 9 games just doing that, playing to their ability, playing to the maximum of their capabilities, and caring. Those things. Pick a guy up, celebrate a big play, be in the moment, enjoy one another's company.
Smile.
Yeah, care a little bit about what the result is. on every play or doing your job.
Yeah, you win that Virginia Tech game, you're going to get your over. At 7.5, win that first game, and you're going to get your over.
If you win that game, you're going to get your over. And if the number's 8,
probably still get it.
I said 8-4, but I have to admit, deep down, I think I would be disappointed with 8-4. I think 9-3 is where I start in my mind to say, okay, job well done. I stopped short of saying job well done.
You need to see the information from an 8-4 to
Yeah, then I'll tell you why were we 8-4? Well, we had a lot of injuries. We overcame that. We still won 8 games with a brutal schedule. That's a different talking point. Everybody stays healthy. We have some clunkers. It's a different talking point. So, yeah, if they go 9-3, play to their capabilities, we start to see the progress that we expect in year one with this schedule. And you don't do anything crazy like lose to Syracuse or I don't know who you'd want to pick there. But, I mean, the schedule is ruthless because it's awfully difficult to find the game that you can just circle and say, well, God, that'd be awful if you lost that game. There aren't too many – Wake. There aren't too many games on the schedule where you'd go, that's egregious.
Syracuse is pretty bad. Louisville this year, we'll see how they look in the first couple of weeks of the season, although Alabama one won't be a good indicator.
No.
So we'll see how they look in weeks 2 and 3. But they might not be that great this year.
No, they might not. And
they work with Lamar.
And there's some question marks about the Louisville program. I'm looking forward to seeing my friend Mark up there who covers them and does a good job. Mark Ennis. I'll ask him the vibe up there because it's been you talk about a problem. I mean, obviously you got a situation at Louisville where their entire athletic department was in disarray.
Right.
People walking away, presidents, everything else.
But then, the football program 2 years ago, it announced its presence as a player and by beating us into the ground to the tune of record output. And then that was it. They came close in the Clemson game. They almost came all the way back, and that was it. It was like this whole movie was building up to this crescendo, and it never happened for them. They must be crushed up there.
We had a generational talent at quarterback, and you really didn't do anything with it.
Lost like 10 games with them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know to the question, what is an annual expectation within reason at Louisville? I'd have to ask them that right now.
8 to 10? 8 to 10 wins, 10 in a good year?
Yeah. I think that's about right.
They also need the cast-off market to be open for business, too, from the SEC.
Well, listen, I think the more confounded and frustrated fan base after the draft had to have been NC State.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, I mean, every 2 seconds they're watching one of their guys go off the board.
Yeah.
What the hell? We kind of sucked this year.
Right. And the year before, you had Clemson dead to rights. You dropped an interception from Frenchie in the end zone against us. I mean, they could have beaten both of us.
Point-blank field goal from 28 yards or whatever that was against Clemson on their – which is also a weird year for Clemson because oddly enough, the year they win the national championship was not Dabo's best year as a coach. In fact, he misstepped a lot and found a way around those minefields. Yeah. College football's a weird game, man.
To get over the top, it's that little extra. But that's the thing that, even though we're Florida State, you got to realize here, too, you need a couple of bounces to go your way.
Here's the whole season if you're betting the over on 8, to me, besides the obvious, which is what you said at Virginia Tech in week 1. It's Boston College, man. Because I think if you beat Virginia Tech, you're going to stumble into, because that's a win. Samford's a win. Syracuse is a win. Northern Illinois is a win. You'll win one of the 2 against Louisville and Miami. There's 5. Wake is 6. Again, Florida is an automatic win these days. That's 7. You got to get one more. And to me, it's to get a push.
You're not gonna lose 4 in a row in the stretch of Clemson,
NC State, Notre Dame,
BC. I mean. Good God. Come on now. You're not going to lose all 4 of those, right?
No, you ought not.
If you're just painting the worst picture as you're trying to do the betting game. So that puts you at 8 if you win the Virginia Tech game and you split Miami-Louisville. That puts you right at 8.
Yeah, so you won't lose the bet.
So you need to go 2-2 in that 4-game brutal stretch, which is doable.
Yeah, and I think if you do, you'd be pretty happy. I mean, it's hard as you sit here and look at it on paper July the 9th, to accept the loss to an NC State or a Boston College?
I mean, yeah, you could say, well, Clemson put it down as a loss. Again, for betting purposes, I'm not saying that we're going to lose the game, and I'm not, Mr. Pessimist, but I'm trying to get to the wins. I don't think you're going to lose to NC State, Notre Dame back-to-back. You could split that, right? You can't.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't
You
lose.
shouldn't.
That would put you at 3 in a row. Clemson being the first in a sequence of 3 in a row. You got to be able to split that at least. And then BC, you're right, is the magic number game.
Well, and in the BC game is hard to put in context because they're actually going to have a good team this year, unlike last, and they beat our ass last year. But again, that wasn't a real,
who did they beat?
Right.
Laundry.
A ghost, right. So
Laundry that got on a plane.
It certainly wasn't a representation of what the team will be if they're playing hard. But
Remember, they didn't quit, though.
But the difference is they're actually going to be legitimately decent this year.
It's good that it's here.
I agree, man. Because I think it's a weird place to go and play because it's dead. And
I think we'd lose. Yeah, I'd probably put an L. Good Lord. They're going to have that eagle, after every play. Right.
After every first down.
Their drum lines on the PA system.
Oh,
that place is annoying as hell.
And I like going every time because it's a chance to go to Boston. It's a city I enjoy.
It is sterile in that stadium.
Yeah, they're in Wake.
I've yet to go to Wake.
Well, you'll see.
Maybe.
You should, just to do it, just to laugh, just to go, well, good Lord. This is ridiculous.
More Pinot Grigio, please.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
All times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting events? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Summer is heating up, and so are the Makita deals at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Purchase a brushless premium 5-amp-hour hammer drill impact kit and receive your choice of a free bare tool and a free 6-amp-hour battery. That's a $260 value free. Makita introduces one battery, one tool for all your outdoor power equipment needs. Buy a commercial-grade Makita shafted string trimmer and add any other attachment, plus receive a matching blower free. A $189 value for free. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener with 2 locations to choose from, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3533. 888-935. That's Games for Less.
My Pacifica Hybrid, America's first and only hybrid minivan, is so quiet I can finally hear myself think. I should totally adopt a puppy. Ugh, what are you talking about? I have too many nice shoes. I also have a 566-mile driving range. Chrysler really gave 110% making this bad boy. Oops, green light.
Introducing the 84 MPGe Pacifica Hybrid. Chrysler Pacifica. Up your van game. Based on latest available competitive information, range based on manufacturer estimates. EPA estimate with a fully charged battery and estimated miles per gallon of gasoline equivalent MPGe. Actual mileage may vary. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Roofing is rewarding, but it's not exactly a bed of roses. It's a very dirty job, subject to the environment, working on 98-degree summer days, dodging rainstorms, working on steep slopes like a mountain goat. At Parker Brothers, our skilled workers have chosen this challenging trade as their career choice. These are the people that you want working on your roof. We've been servicing the community since 1995. Call us at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
CGC 042221, CCC 049350.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Roger Federer advanced to a record-setting 16th Wimbledon quarterfinal with a straight sets victory over Adrian Manero. Federer lost just 5 points today. He has now won 32 consecutive sets at the All England Club. Serena Williams moved on to the women's quarterfinals with a straight sets win. She should be feeling pretty good about her chances to win an 8th title at Wimbledon, considering she hasn't even played her best tennis yet, notes ESPN's Chris Evert.
She, in her mind, is so confident that she can get better and better, and she's getting more feel on the grass. Those big serves are such a weapon. She's had 50% unreturnable serves, which is awesome, which is better than any other player that we can name. So all her weapons seem to be working, and her confidence is slowly coming back.
Baseball, the AL East leading Red Sox set to welcome slugger J.D. Martinez back tonight versus the Rangers. 7:10 Eastern on ESPN+. Martinez given yesterday off to rest after fouling some pitches off his foot Saturday night. Boston has won 6 in a row and 11 of its last 13. Astros shortstop Carlos Correa will be sidelined a 13th straight game tonight against the A's with a back issue. He has not participated in baseball activities in 2 weeks. The team, though, has not ruled him out that he could play before the All-Star break. Dodgers right fielder Yasiel Puig set for an MRI today on his oblique strain, likely heading to the DL. Manager Dave Roberts said that while Puig is out, Matt Kemp will likely get the lion's share of playing time in right field. 4 more members of the Thailand soccer team were rescued from the cave today. 8 of the 12 boys have now been brought up by divers. The boys and their coach have been stranded for more than 2 weeks after heavy rains flooded the miles-long cave network.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
The Jeff Cameron Show, at least 4 today. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Hey, sometimes you miss things. I got you. All 3 hours going to be posted to both iTunes, I should say, and our audio vault. I had that little it was a weird little pause there. You can email the show if you like, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. Find me on Twitter at JCameronShow. You know, by the way, I got to respond to this gentleman, but we got a really beautiful email I don't always share them with you, Tom, because our email, I want to let everybody know this here. I'm having trouble talking today. It's been a couple of days since we've been on the air, I guess. But the email is not my personal email. So when I give out the email, that's the show email address. It's not like you're hitting me up at the house. This is...
There are layers here.
Yeah, there are layers here.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
but there's a reason I want you to know that. I figured most of you realized it, but maybe not. Maybe not. Way back when I started, I gave out my personal email address, and people would email, and I'd email back. And back in those days, I had 10 listeners, so it was very easy. Well, hey, Jerry, how are you? Good to talk to you again. Thanks for listening this morning, you and the other 9 guys. But then the show got popular, and I'd get a lot of emails, too many. And it was starting to bog down to the point where I couldn't get back to people, and then a lot of times I was too short, and the meaning got lost in translation and things like that. And then I thought, this is more trouble than it's worth, and I can't respond to 1,000 people and still do my job. So we set up this email, and the good ones get through. We've got interns and others that filter all of these things through, and young Matthew does a good job when he's at the helm, when he's not cracking the whip on the interns, and then I get them eventually if they're decent.
Right, to your personal account, Jeff Cameron, King of All Media at 979ESPNradio.com.
But they get forwarded through, and so I'll read them, and I don't get back to everybody, but I am going to get back to this guy. And he wrote us a really nice email, and I'll read it to you later, Tom. I'm not going to read it on the air. I think I'll get choked up. It was just fantastic.
Oh, my.
No, but he loves the show, and he's a smart guy, and it provides some escapism for him, and he's in need of it right now, and he expressed that, and it was just, it was like, man, that's why you do it. That's the thing there. That's awesome. Just, it's humbling. It's beautiful. But I forget to share some of these with you, and I think, well, Tom doesn't even know we got that email. He doesn't even realize that this guy wrote 4 paragraphs, and most of it's about me, of course.
Sure.
But there's one in there about you. There's a little thing in there about you do a good job, too.
There it is. Y tú también.
So I thought, well, I should read this one to Tom, and moreover, I should get back to this gentleman. I should write him back, so I'm going to. But anyhow, the email address is jcs@979espn.radio.com.
Please forward all complaints to Gene at warchant.com.
There it
That's
is.
Gene at warchant.com.
What if that's his real email you just gave out?
Well, it's on their website.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
The old joke from the Wake Up War Chant days is forward all to Michael at warchant.com.
Oh, nicely
So
done.
I'm just playing off an
just
old
playing
joke.
off the old thing. I got you. I like that. Yeah, well, that's fine, too. And I bet Gene doesn't read those either. Just like,
He probably heard this, though, with my luck. And he's like, thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you.
At Jay Cameron Show on Twitter. Twitter, that is WTSM app for your mobile devices. All right. By the way, Thai Navy did something great while we were away.
They did, and they lost a guy.
They lost a guy. Right after we were talking about it.
Yeah, that's
we gotta
probably
kill
it,
the
right?
joke. That's it for the Thai Navy opening act. Dude died.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You know what really sucks for him, besides the dying part, is the water all went away. They didn't even need to do that. They're walking the hell out the cave. My man, that's brutal. They really have botched this city.
That is brutal. That is brutal. Yep. I think we have to retire those segments. That is correct.
No, I don't think. No, they're fine. We won't get into it again just because the man did lose his life, sacrificed himself for that situation. But you know what we got today? We got in the email inbox. Tom did forward this email to me. They were to him. And it's a broadcast schedule. Friends.
They noted at the end, Jeff does a pretty good job.
That's good.
And I wanted you to see that.
Good. That's why you forwarded it to me. Otherwise, I was wondering where David Norrie was going to be this year. So you forwarded that to me, and there it is. And I see this is now part of what remains of the system. Not a lot remains of the system, unfortunately.
The video game is gone.
Video game is gone. Bookstores have gone the way of the dodo. The magazine rack, me in the corner coffee, all that. Nope, not going to happen. But broadcast schedules are a thing, and we're adding to that this year. We're doing some things, and this is another way to announce that as well. But I wanted to start by saying thank you, for sending that to me earlier today, in the 1 o'clock hour, actually, just brightened my day. I'm looking at show prepping at the time, and Tom forwards me this email of the 2018 college football on ESPN radio broadcast schedule. And that just down in the cockles, you feel that.
It's one of those things that you don't think about unless you're driving around town and you go, oh, well, thank God, ESPN Radio's got us covered. There's another game going on right now. We could be listening while we're stuck in the tailgating lot after the game is over.
That's right.
Whatever it is.
That's right.
We got you covered in more ways than one, too.
The beginning of this email is attached. This is the 2018 college football on ESPN Radio broadcast schedule. This year's regular season schedule includes a minimum of 6 appearances by 2018 college football playoff participants.
Okay.
All right.
And pick some good ones.
That, by the way, that kickoff weekend, the 1st of September, Alabama and Louisville and Orlando, or Auburn versus Washington and Atlanta. Do you get to choose that?
We get to choose these things, and we also have to juxtapose that with, and this is the new part, we are now officially Westwood One Sports, Westwood One Sports partner for both the NFL and NCAA football.
Oh, this place is getting so good. I mean, damn it. What don't we provide the people of this community?
It's true. We got everything.
Other than an income. I mean, my goodness.
Well, an income of smiles. That's what we provide you.
Boy, I teed that up and you nailed it. Good job. Yeah, that's well done. All right.
We got everything, though. World Series, NBA Finals, now the Super Bowl, college football playoff national championship. Hell, we had Florida State softball winning the national championship right here on these airways. We got it all, man.
We do. We do. And I'm looking at the broadcast schedule here on that Saturday, by the way. That first one, you're going to take Washington-Auburn, are you not?
Oh, I have to.
Yeah, well, there's no reason to take Alabama beating Louisville by 457 points.
No, and I got to look at the Westwood One for that day, too.
Well, on that Sunday, by the way, we get LSU in Miami.
Yes, we do.
Woo! Gonna have that for you.
Yeah, we'll have that for you right here on these very airways. The only ones I can't touch are Florida State, obviously, unless we're in the postseason. So ACC title game if we were to, surprise some people.
You can't mess with Georgia either. I mean, Florida either.
Can't mess with Florida. Yeah, they're actually in town. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Good choice.
All right. But you can certainly grab, for example, if you wanted to, North Carolina, Miami, couldn't you, on a Thursday night?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but yeah, that's a Thursday night game.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I can't take that, Jeff, because we have Thursday night NFL. I must take the NFL, the primetime games.
I don't think the NFL, has the NFL started by the time that rolls around? Yeah, it has. It has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. So I forgot about those Thursday night debacles that the NFL provides. Maybe this should be great.
Hey, much better schedule this year.
Much.
No, that's true. They put emphasis on that.
Did they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so now I'm looking at Westwood One. And right off the bat, we've got – now, you can choose these, or do you have to carry all these?
No, I can choose these as well. I just like the first one that you're about to read because of the date. Not because of the game, but because of the date.
You're damn right. The date is August 25th.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yes, so a little over a month away until Hawaii versus Colorado State.
Yes.
Woo! Come on, Colorado State. Got to take the rainbows out.
That just looks good. See those two logos next to each other right there?
It does. I love it.
All right.
They do a good job with that. By the way, I'm strangely intrigued by the following week's game, 11:30 a.m. If you wanted to do it, I don't think you will, but Texas Tech and Ole Miss.
That is weird. It's the
a
Houston
weird
game this year.
Yeah,
the kickoff game.
Yeah. West Virginia and Tennessee play in Charlotte, North Carolina that same day, by the way, and that is a game that is crucial to both teams' schedule.
Oh, yeah, that's much like the Michigan-Notre Dame game. This is, yeah.
But I think especially so for these two teams because Tennessee hasn't been good in a really long time, and West Virginia is forever disappointing. Oh, listen to it. See? Listen to that. Oh, you wake up. Maybe it's a little chilly outside for the first time in ages.
Heaven forbid.
Oh, God. May open up the windows today, babe. Oh. I think I'll grill this afternoon. You want me to grill for lunch and dinner? Don't mind me. I'm just shooting up heroin.
Black tar.
That was meant as a joke, folks, just to tell you how excited I am about
There's something
football.
wonderful, too, about setting an actual place at the table on a Saturday morning for breakfast. Like, no paper plates.
Oh, listen to you. Look what we're doing to the poor folks today driving around in 105-degree heat, giving them this other universe that does exist, but it seems so far away.
Time is constant. It will be here, and you have a pretty good idea when.
I made breakfast for my grandma and kids yesterday, and that was cool. In her kitchen, just making up breakfast for everybody.
There you go.
It was really cool. I had a blast.
That's my favorite part of Thanksgiving. Is that's our family reunion time.
Yeah.
When everybody gets together. Because Christmas, they're all in their own homes.
It can be very stressful.
But it's the breakfast. That's the best.
Ah, that's good
It's
stuff.
stressful when you get to dinner because then everybody, all other, extended family comes in, and then you got to make sure everybody gets a seat and they get all their
the whole
they get taken care of.
Right.
But breakfast is just about the core group of my siblings, my parents,
Not all
and
these
the kids.
Not all these people that wander in.
No. And there's plenty of places to sit. There's plenty of room, and then there's bacon and sausage and eggs, and it's awesome.
Well, you have created, and for me today, the emails that came in with both the ESPN broadcast programming schedule along with the Westwood One, and I just went through the matchups because this is what we do. We're aware of the matchups. You, meaning the football fan in you out there listening to this program right now, you're aware of the matchups. You've already been able to kind of wet the whistle there, the appetite. It's tantalizing. There's that. Well, how about that in week 2? And you do that thing. But when you get the actual email from Westwood One and you see UCLA and Oklahoma September the 8th, or you see Stanford and Oregon, or you see, I don't know, even Wisconsin at Michigan. That's exciting stuff.
Look at our Westwood One November. Seriously, list
All right,
off those
I'm
games.
here you go.
They are really good.
Westwood One November schedule that you can hear right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Let's start with a mighty clash. Penn State at Michigan. Well,
all right.
Here we go. The following week, Auburn at Georgia. Well, let's keep it rolling, Big River.
Okay.
I'll do that. The following week, no, that same weekend.
Part of a doubleheader.
Forget about it. Wisconsin at Penn State. Woo! Trace McSorley leads Penn State in their efforts to be Big Ten champions.
And the boring Paul Christ
will run the ball.
Who did at least have one moment where he said, turnover chain my bleeping.
Yeah, well, but think about Jonathan Taylor running the ball for Wisconsin and Trace McSorley, a quarterback for Penn State. That's a big-time matchup. Marquee, some would say. On the 17th, Miami at Virginia Tech. We'll have it for you right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
The Hokies will have sorted their stuff out.
Yes, they've had plenty of time to get right. Still stinging perhaps from an early season 40-point loss to Florida State, Virginia Tech looks to rebound against Miami. Southern Cal at UCLA, whatever.
That's the throwaway.
Fake-ass rivalry. Oklahoma versus West Virginia. Ooh. You have my attention on a Friday night.
That is the day after Thanksgiving. So there you go.
Oh, man. On a Friday night, what are we? LSU and Texas A&M at Texas A&M.
For the right to 8 wins.
December the 1st, SEC championship game. We could run it if we want to.
We will. ACC is prime time, so we'll get that one out of the way.
Not only will you get the opportunity on December the 8th to hear Army-Navy live from Philadelphia on Westwood One, you'll also get the added reports from Jeff and Tom on the sidelines as they celebrate going to their first ever Army-Navy game. Woo!
I would probably tear up. I think I would.
Just because it's been a destination
It's
wanted
been a
to go
destination
forever,
thing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those days where, I'm more than happy to wave the flag because the people that are in the building that day are
Well, yes, they're actually serving and sacrificing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's okay. And then we have the championship game as well. The championship, like the national championship.
Oh, we have the college football
we
playoff.
have the college football. Yeah, the whole
ESPN gives us the bowls. We got the New Year's Six.
Woo, woo.
We got the NFL playoffs. How cool is that? Wild card weekend, division, championship round.
So
yes.
We're bridging the gap here for you. That's the kind of email we got today. And that lets you know that things are good. And soon things will be, pads will be cracking and we'll get past this, at times, difficult stretch. We'll get past it. But who hopes we get past it really soon is somebody I'm going to talk about in a moment, but somebody that desperately needs the offseason to be over. And that's our opponent on that Monday night. Another setback for Virginia Tech. And if you want to sit back and document the kind of horrific offseason they've had, and I guess I should hesitate to use that term, but, between injury and suspension and coaches being dismissed or resigning, and, this has not been our offseason, knock on wood, has been as good as an offseason can be, given what happened, what transpired.
Yeah, outside of the ball thing. Yep. I totally agree.
But, I mean, basically, for the most part, things have gone exceptionally well.
Yeah. Especially if you're talking from the ticket office, they would agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's life here where there was not.
Yeah, an infusion of life here, and also real positive reform to that locker room and to the interactions within the athletic department, et cetera. So everything's motoring, and we keep documenting that. We're like, all right, yeah, got it. Let's go win some football games. But at Virginia Tech, they wake up every day going, oh, God, please tell me somebody else didn't get in trouble. Please tell me somebody didn't hurt themselves on the stationary bike. Please tell me that we didn't lose another defensive starter to some asinine reason. Like some guy fell off his bike or something on the way to class or something. I mean, that's the kind of offseason it's been for Virginia Tech. I'll document it momentarily. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Understood his manager's decision.
He did what you have to do. I mean, he's got to set an example and start somewhere. I mean, if I got to be the guy pull out of the game to show what we got to do, I mean, I'm okay with it.
The Atlanta offense finished the series without a homer in Milwaukee for the first time, becoming the first club since the '93 Tigers to not homer in a 4-game set in Milwaukee. Braves now head home off a 5-5 road trip and have tonight off before a brief 2-game interleague series with the Blue Jays starts tomorrow at SunTrust Park. With the Braves, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, lit by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Hey, I'm Jeff Doxey, Realtor for Capital Property Consultants, representing Premier Fine Homes. If you're thinking of owning your own brand new Premier home, call or text me at 850-545-4747 or email me, jeffdoxey1@gmail.com. You say where, I'll be there. Your Canopy Connection.
Here, do you need headsets?
I don't need no stinking headsets.
Well, then go. Come on, man.
All right. Hi there, Tallahassee. You know me. This is Eddie. You know, I have other restaurants in this town, Gordo's, Banditos. Well, I opened up something new. It's called Bumpa's Local 349. You may ask, what is Bumpa's Local 349? It was named after my grandfather. Bumpa. It's what we called him. Best man I ever knew. And the Local 349 was his union. And I try to bring this local flavor, this local flair of Tallahassee. I want to bring it to you, locally owned and operated. warm, good food.
Good Lord, man, we're getting all weepy up in here. It's a cool sports pub. It's got TVs everywhere. You got every package. You got a gazillion kinds of beers and delicious food and a deck. We don't need to weep up in here. Come on, Eddie.
And we have 16 local Florida taps. Great craft beer just for you. And the best bologna sandwich you'll ever eat. It's like you just won the lotto. As Bumpa said, no matter how you cut it, it's still bologna.
Bumpa's Local, 349-2738, Capitol Circle, Northeast.
My Pacifica Hybrid, America's first and only hybrid minivan, is so quiet I can finally hear myself think. I should totally adopt a puppy. Ugh, what are you talking about? I have too many nice shoes. I also have a 566-mile driving range. Chrysler really gave 110% making this bad boy. Oops, green light.
Introducing the 84 MPGe Pacifica Hybrid. Chrysler Pacifica. Up your van game. Based on latest available competitive information, range based on manufacturer estimates. EPA estimate with a fully charged battery and estimated miles per gallon of gasoline equivalent MPGe. Actual mileage may vary. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shop's work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Throughout the show today, I've been drinking from my new little water thing here as a reminder that I need to be drinking more water.
Yeah, I've been wondering what was in there, but I figured you'd offer it up before.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
This is water mixed with 1 scoop of Laird Hamilton Superfood. That sounds strange. Laird is the surfer who's married to the former Florida State volleyball player Gabby Reese.
Okay.
He makes all of these products for hydrating yourself, being active lifestyles, and all this stuff. Like, you know, he's really healthy.
You wearing a Laird shirt as well?
No, I'm not wearing anything to do with Laird.
Okay.
Other than so here's the thing: I don't care about Laird, the guy. He's really admirable in that the dude surfs these gigantic waves, and you know you've seen him, you know who he is. But he's like 50-something years old and ripped and in incredible shape, and he talks about how not enough people hydrate. Everybody knows this, but I'm the world's worst when it comes to hydration because I drink a lot of coffee, as we've documented. And, okay, I'm really not willing to give it up. So if you come to the conclusion that you're not going to give up coffee and you do occasionally like to partake in some beer drinking,
yeah,
you're doing a lot of things to dehydrate your body. And lately, I've been outdoors a lot more. I'm playing a lot of golf these days, even exercising, Tom. I'm starting to get there, buddy. It's starting to ease my way back in. I know you've been a warrior. And I'm trying to get to that point so that when I come back from vacation, it's a launch into something similar to what you're doing, right? So at least for just before football season, it's the ramp up.
Yeah, I wanted to get something done before my England trip, and then that way I've set the stage to do something before the heavy season.
Yeah, which the heavy season is right around the corner. I'm going to get to that in a second. So anyhow, long story short, I was going through some website, and I was reading about products that help with the hydration and things to remind you on a daily basis. And they talked about a commitment to something as stupid as a water bottle. That if you bought this water bottle, even an expensive one, then you're inclined to use it. It's like you with your little book, you know, and it's you decide you didn't need that, but you thought, you know, if I get it and I do it a few times, it will become habit, and then it will be gospel. I'll do it all the time, and I'll be more organized. That was an area in your life you wanted to improve. So I don't really care about which water bottle I bought.
Yeah.
But I like him, and he makes one, and he has this product that you put a teaspoon of whatever, it's like electrolytes or whatever, in, and you get more hydrated. And so I thought, oh, there's the commitment. There it is. So I spent not a lot, but just a little bit of money on this water thing, canteen, if you will. It's it is. Look at that. That's solid as a rock right there. Yeah. So anyhow,
you could run that over with your car, and it would be right there.
Yeah. So I got that, and I thought, well, now if I bring it with me, I'll drink water. Because you see me during the show, I'm never drinking water.
No.
Virtually ever. Like, and I don't mind water, but I just don't drink it. So
right.
now I'm going to drink it.
So what I have at the house.
There you go. There's the explanation.
The Gordo's cup.
Right.
Because it's giant. It's a
gigantic.
massive cup.
Oh, Eddie's got Gordo's cups planted all over the country because people took them with them when they left college.
Yeah.
They're great. I have one in my kitchen every night before I go to bed. Bam.
Yeah, it's the perfect amount, too, because if you've had a cup of that, maybe
Oh,
two.
you're hydrated.
You're hydrated. Yeah. And the one thing I've done in my current little regimen that I'm on, the 25 workouts in 30 days, man, you can tell when you are – it's like the Tom Herman system, sir. You can tell when you are really hydrated, a little bit less, or not at all, because the way you sweat during working
Color
out
your pee. Tom Herman's in there racing to your bathroom going, no.
If I'm not sweating like a pig when I'm working out, then I haven't done my job.
That's right.
In terms of hydration.
That's right. No, and I notice it too when we go play golf in 105-degree heat. You get to the hole 7 and you're like, I haven't peed yet. Mm-hmm. You're like, well, the body's like, yo, man.
You'd be like, yeah, my shirt is kind of dry.
Yeah, this isn't good.
That's not supposed to be.
So that's the commitment. That's the commitment there. Hey, so this is all in a build up to the fact that, we were talking about the heavy season. Here's the deal. Man, we go on vacation next week, and we're both gone for a week, and then it is go time. And I just got the email this week, and I just booked it in my flight from D.C. to Charlotte for the ACC kickoff. And I'm beginning to look at the different stories around the country, and you and I had already documented this, but our first opponent, Virginia Tech, and I'm going to get an opportunity to talk to their players and their head coach, Justin Fuente, in just a couple of weeks.
And we're waiting on the itinerary, but for Coastal Day, they split it up Coastal Day, Atlantic Day.
Mm-hmm.
We did put Fuente as priority number 1.
Well, and I really like Justin Fuente. I have interviewed him before, and he's an impressive guy, and I think they hired a good coach. Obviously, what he did at Memphis and what he's already done at Virginia Tech. He's also a guy that I was impressed by this offseason because, people were looking at him. Florida State was looking at him. Other people looked at them. Now, I don't know how seriously we went after Justin Fuente or didn't, but I know he was on a list of coaches that we would have wanted to talk to. And he was fairly regimented in his response about his commitment to Virginia Tech. And that's admirable because, he said to us when he first got that job, when we interviewed him at the last ACC kickoff, that Virginia Tech was special. He had options because he was a sought-after coach. He could have waited another year or two, but his family is such and his children at a certain age and everything that he wanted a place that was very family-oriented, that he felt like was communal, and Virginia Tech seemed like that to him. Blacksburg seemed like that kind of place, and I've been there, and I think it is. Those people that go to that school and live in that community do foster that, and they do a good job with it.
That's a good fan base when you travel, too.
Yeah, they
both
are.
Neutral sites and when they came down here, the last one was, my God,
seems
almost
like
10 years
ago. Yeah,
they were great.
Yeah, they are great. And we've had a lot of familiarity with them. Obviously, beat them for a national title, and I was at that game and went over to Jacksonville and played them over there. And so, there's been a lot of that. But so he was anchored in, and he said when we did that interview, and I'm looking forward to talking to him because I'm about to document what a tough offseason it's been, that's the kind of place you go. It's a destination. You don't leave right away. You're there for a decade or more. You want to settle in. So when the opportunities came up, and these jobs began to open, and they're big time, like Florida State or the University of Florida, and schools like that, the thought was somebody's going to nab him. Somebody's going to say, listen, we get it. Virginia Tech's nice, but they're a tier below. And that's accurate. They are. Every 4th or 5th year these days, they've got a chance to make a nice run in the Coastal and maybe even win it consistently. But they're not Florida State. They're not Clemson, period. And they're really maybe not even Miami if Miami's humming. So they're down a little bit on the rung. They're not Florida.
No.
They're not Georgia. They're not, obviously, Alabama or even Auburn.
When they were waving the flag for the conference in the last decade, that wasn't exactly because they were world beaters. They would be ranked in the top 10, but they would seemingly always lose that important game.
Yeah, well, you just don't have enough requisite talent there on an annual basis to dominate anybody perennially.
Nice defensive school is the reputation.
Well, they got good defensive coaches, and they've had one anchored there forever and a day, and so, yeah, you get it. I like the program. I do. I kind of the ACC schools, if we were ranking schools by how much we like or dislike them, obviously we start number one with our beloved Noles. But after that, it gets interesting. Everybody's got a different opinion about who they like in the conference and who they don't. You and I both love Virginia. But I like Virginia Tech. It's high on my list of teams that I would root for to do well.
That's an interesting question.
Boston College is high on that list for me.
I liked Clemson, but, at some point you have to say, let's pump the brakes on this.
Well, they were the other big-time school that you felt cared about football in the same way that Florida State did and had success. So you'd say, yeah, Clemson's on the same plane.
Well, and when we were getting the better of them, they were just so nice. You would think they would be angry and waiting to, for their moment at the top. So, I mean, when the chips are down and for them, from their perspective, and they're stacked in our favor, they were still just so courteous. Those fans are great. It's hard to be mad at them.
I don't disagree. I mean, I'm about done.
I'm about done with the results on the field.
Yeah,
but, that's like
the
on-the-ground experience. It is not an acrimonious relationship like we're tailgating in Gainesville or Florida's coming up here. It's not like that.
No. And it's not like that with Virginia Tech, certainly. So
yeah, they're fine.
They're fine. But that guy is anchored in there, and I think will be for the long term. But he's got problems right now. He announced today that defensive back Mook Reynolds has been dismissed from the program in accordance with athletic department policies. Reynolds was suspended from all team and football-related activities during the spring. The school said in a statement, Reynolds, an 11-game starter in 2017. This is a guy that is a hybrid nickelback, outside backer, 70 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, second leading tackler on the team. I mean, goodness, it's a problem. And you go through what's happened this offseason, they basically are at a place where Bud Foster has to replace 8 starters on defense. That isn't to say that they can't. It isn't to say that they won't be good by season's end. But when you're replacing Edmonds, the Edmonds brothers, if you will, and then you've had Tim Settle, the defensive tackle, he left school early for the NFL draft. You had the Greg Stroman. You just had injury, grades, draft, suspensions. It all adds up to a really, really green unit. And Jeremy Webb with the torn Achilles to boot. You've had a lot.
The quarterback distraction. So it's like he's busy. There's PR problems that come with this, and then there's obviously the on-the-field repercussions, which is good luck, Bud Foster. My God, it's going to take a month.
Yeah, and then there's the off-the-field stuff, too. You talk about distracted. His co-defensive coordinator, with there at Virginia Tech, Galen Scott, dismissed. I mean, he was having some off the field.
He was on the road in more ways than one. He was on the road.
So he's gone, and so what you have is really a brutal situation there. You're replacing players, you're replacing coaches, you're suspending people. So distractions, some of them are things you can't help, graduation or the draft. But then when you have injury, and then when you have suspensions, and then when you have a guy that's supposed to be a leader amongst the staff have a problem off the field, now you got to replace him, and he's an important role. So let's just say I'm very excited about that first game against Virginia Tech. I was anyhow, and I'm sorry, I don't root for kids certainly to get hurt in that situation. But look, the upheaval and problems Virginia Tech is facing, oh, well, I mean, these things happen. Nobody's crying for us when guys go down or get in trouble or get hurt. So there you go.
I will be really fascinated by his tact in an interview setting. Is he going to be Justin Fuente, that is, defiant? Is he going to be open about it? Is he going to look exhausted? That'll be interesting just to see the persona that he decides to really embrace for his first chance. Well, he's going to have to be a rock.
He's going to. I think I know what he's going to be. He's going to be stern, but not terse. But I think he'll be stern. I think he'll be a guy that is going to want to exude strength. I think he's a guy that's going to bristle at the idea that it's been a tumultuous offseason if it's presented in a question.
Well, he is bringing his quarterback. Jackson is one of their 2 representatives, and that was a distraction. So he's allowing him, the quarterback that is, to get in front of the cameras and say whatever it is he needs to say.
Yeah, well, they must not feel too bad about what was going on there. That could have just been a grades matter that had to be worked out, and there was not. Maybe the kid didn't do anything wrong. I don't know the details of that situation.
That his dad went to the press and said, we'll know in a couple of days, though. It's, I mean, I wish if I'm Fuente, I wish Dad would just shut the hell up and let's let this play out.
I think that this is not obviously the kind of offseason that would serve to, lead to enthusiasm for that fan base when their first game's on the road on a Monday night for the nation to watch while you're replacing 8 starters and a coach. I would say that's ordinarily you'd say, wow, this is awesome. I mean, tough game. We got Florida State on the road, but, man, what a clash of ACC Titans early in the year. We'll see what we got. No, I think they're holding their breath that this isn't going to be ugly. But at the same time, I just don't think we're in a position because we just don't know what we're going to see to say with great certainty, well, that's it, they're screwed. Bud Foster, what are you going to do? You're replacing all these guys. I mean, he's a really, really good coordinator. They've had problems in the past. Any program has. If you're there long enough, you're going to have one of those years, one of those off seasons where you go, well, good Lord.
Well, and week 1 is usually a slop fest anyway. So you could have a slop fest for a lot of reasons here. Virginia Tech's are well documented. Ours with a coaching change, new offense. Defensive scheme relatively the same. But if you have something along the lines of a 7-3 game in the second quarter, would that shock anybody? Probably not.
Probably not, just because, like you said, week 1. But I would say the lower-scoring games that happen this year are going to serve as eyebrow raisers. I mean, the idea is that maybe we'll give up too many points than we're accustomed to because we're playing at a more frantic pace and thus more possessions. And you got to get used to those numbers and what you judge those numbers as being. But if we find games where it's 21-10 in the fourth quarter, we're going to go, what the hell is going on here with this offense? I mean, I feel like that's how the fan base is going to react.
I agree. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of punts in that first game, more than we would want. We want this coronation when we first start, but
I don't know, Tom. I'm thinking 66-7. It feels really right for an introductory course to the nation about the impending ass beatings that lay in wait over the next 2 to 3 years.
It could be 41-17. If a result like that happens in game 1, the expectations are going to go crazy.
Both ways. If you get beat in the first game, this is going to be a disaster. He's not ready for this moment. Look at this. That team lost 8 starters a year ago. They come into our house and win. Admittedly, the pressure shifts when that kind of offseason happens to your opponent back to you. You don't get that grace period because people say, well, I understand it's your first year and you're implementing a very, very different offense, but good Lord, Virginia Tech lost 8 starters. Guys are suspended and injured and out for the year, and they lost a coach, and you're out here screwing around in your home opener. Yeah, that won't fly.
I just look forward to when it's over, that game. I just want it to happen because
I think a lot of people want it to happen.
But we talked about this earlier today, and I agree that June flew by as a month. But this hypothetical offseason has been really we're now out of cartilage, man. This is just painful at this point because all we're talking about is the right things that Willie's done. He's checked every other box
he hasn't given you a reason.
Except, it's time.
Right. Well, and I think he probably feels exactly the same way.
I agree.
And right about now, every coach is just chomping at the bit. They're just getting back from vacation if they were taking one. And a lot of guys been out of town this past week. This is that little period where you can, if you're getting married like Walt Bell or you're doing whatever you're going to do, you do that now. And you try to be in that moment and not think of football. But when you come back from that, man, it is all things football all the time. And those guys never feel like they have enough time because there is so many I's to dot and T's to cross and say about here's how it's going to look on game day, and we got to have this ready to roll when practice starts. Because once practice starts, and I know, it does fly by. And so we're talking about this ACC kickoff that I'm going to be at in, just over a week. And we get back from that, and it's 10 days till practice. Now, that'll make you feel better.
Yeah, it'll make me feel better.
That makes you feel better because then there's tangible stuff. Then they're playing. They're practicing.
Right.
They're doing things.
You hold your breath
here.
About injuries, all that stuff.
But also you have real competition at the most important position on the field.
Right.
That's a daily thing. We've gone through that.
Well, and you get to see how Willie handles things. Spring camp is its own deal. The booster tour, whatever. Introductory press conferences, it's hard to lose those. The signing day special, whatever. Now you get on the ground. What is he like? Day to day. It's like I'm as interested in the character study of who Willie Taggart is, who these coordinators are, how much do we actually get to speak to them, and then you learn about everything there is involved in Willie Taggart's program. A lot of it has been setting the stage. All right, I see the stage. It's set. Let's go. Come on. What do we look like?
Open the curtain already. Let's go.
For the love of God.
The lines, they need to be read. Let's go. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, checking in to see how your summer is starting out. At Kraft Nissan, the deals are already hot with available 0% interest for 60 months on every new Nissan we sell. And all 2018 Frontier pickups have a $1,500 rebate plus 0% interest for 60 months. All 2018 Rogues are $4,000 off MSRP with prices starting at just $21,965. Note, I said all Rogues, not some, are $4,000 off. 2018 Versa S's start at an unbelievable $12,960 for a new car. But the true star of summer is the 2018 Altima. All Altimas, and we have over 60 to choose from, are $6,000 off MSRP. That's right, all 2018 Altimas are $6,000 off with prices starting at just $18,970. And as always, all Kraft Nissans come with our exclusive free lifetime warranty. So before you head off on your summer vacation, head to Kraft Nissan for unbeatable prices. Prices include dealer preparation charge, must finance through NMAC with approved credit, and take delivery from dealer stock.
Defend your vehicle from harmful elements and restore shine with Armor All Canister Wipes. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 2 Armor All Canister Wipes for $8. Easily remove dirt, dust, and grime with Armor All Canister Wipes. Buy 2 for $8 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
My Pacifica Hybrid, America's first and only hybrid minivan, is so quiet I can finally hear myself think. I should totally adopt a puppy. Ugh, what are you talking about? I have too many nice shoes. I also have a 566-mile driving range. Chrysler really gave 110% making this bad boy. Oops, green light.
Introducing the 84 MPGe Pacifica Hybrid. Chrysler Pacifica. Up your van game. Based on latest available competitive information, range based on manufacturer estimates. EPA estimate with a fully charged battery and estimated miles per gallon of gasoline equivalent MPGe. Actual mileage may vary. Chrysler is a registered trademark of SCA US LLC.
This Day in Sports brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This Day in Sports history. July 9th, 1968, Wilt Chamberlain, who attained immortality by scoring 100 points in a single game, is traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers only had to give up 3 players to satisfy the Sixers, who just wanted Wilt distilled off their team. Chamberlain will lead the Lakers to 3 NBA Finals and 1 title.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Roger Federer advanced to a record-setting 16th Wimbledon quarterfinal with a straight sets victory over Adrian Manero. Federer lost just 5 points today. He has now won 32 consecutive sets at the All England Club. Serena Williams moved on to the women's quarterfinals with a straight sets win. She should be feeling pretty good about her chances to win an 8th title at Wimbledon, considering she hasn't even played her best tennis yet, notes ESPN's Chris Evert.
She, in her mind, is so confident that she can get better and better, and she's getting more feel on the grass. Those big serves are such a weapon. She's had 50% unreturnable serves, which is awesome, which is better than any other player that we can name. So all her weapons seem to be working, and her confidence is slowly coming back.
Baseball, the AL East leading Red Sox set to welcome slugger J.D. Martinez back tonight versus the Rangers. 7:10 Eastern on ESPN+. Martinez given yesterday off to rest after fouling some pitches off his foot Saturday night. Boston has won 6 in a row and 11 of its last 13. Astros shortstop Carlos Correa will be sidelined a 13th straight game tonight against the A's with a back issue. He has not participated in baseball activities in 2 weeks. The team, though, has not ruled him out that he could play before the All-Star break. Dodgers right fielder Yasiel Puig set for an MRI today on his oblique strain, likely heading to the DL. Manager Dave Roberts said that while Puig is out, Matt Kemp will likely get the lion's share of playing time in right field. 4 more members of the Thailand soccer team were rescued from the cave today. 8 of the 12 boys have now been brought up by divers. The boys and their coach have been stranded for more than 2 weeks after heavy rains flooded the miles-long cave network.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
As always, another reminder that we are proudly sponsored by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Of course, Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, your location for all of your tool needs, that's for sure. I need new tools. I'm in the midst of replacing my tools. They're going to help me at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. It's where all the pros go, and, of course, so do the do-it-yourself guys. And I'm trying to become more of a do-it-yourself guy. I'm not real good at it. I'll always be calling Matt. But
yes, Matt Millar is that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy. And so I would just tell you this, by the way, Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, big box pricing, local service, 2 locations to choose from. That's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. The Tallahassee location, by the way, open on Saturdays from 8 till noon.
I think the great thing about this is that when you do get hooked up and you invest in some good tools from Cornerstone Tool and Fastener,
I can talk about them.
Well, then you can also show them off to Millar. Because he'll go, oh, that's
great. You got that.
Nice.
You don't even know how to turn that on.
Right. Kind of like when Barano took care of your air conditioning service and you have the smart technology at the house.
I do, yeah. I could just press a button on my phone and my air does what I want it to do.
And you made him explain it to you. And
Wasn't
Matt
that
was
great?
Like, oh, well.
So what you going to do here?
This is only the best in the business.
Very few people have this, but okay. Here's how it's going to work, Jeff. Thanks, Matt.
This is round 2.
Yeah. It'll be fun. This one will bother him more than that one did, because these are the things that he's going to say. I could use one of those. That's impressive. That would make my life a lot. Well, you can borrow it, or I could just take you over to Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Fastener.
The important thing is, though, that when he borrows it, you shouldn't know where it is, even if you do.
Right, even if I do,
because that will bug him to no end.
Well, that now will be playing into 2 things there.
Yes.
That'd be. Oh, I don't even know where I put that. That could be sitting on the ground over there by the tree. What? You leave it out all the time? Oh, I don't know.
We'll check outside. Go ahead, check outside. See if you find
anything out there. A lot of stuff out there. Probables, give it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
I think I'm ready to pick it up soon with probables. It is a laid-back thing, I get, but...
Well, it was Monday.
I
hit it for the Monday.
No, I'm not mad. I'm just about ready to move on. It's fine. It's fine. It's just I don't know why I'm not feeling that today.
You want the biggest part of me? You told me to shelf that.
I don't. Yeah, we're gonna add some new songs.
So all I had was Summer Wind, but I mean I hit that every day.
You do. It's my job. It's my job to add more cheesy, varying degrees of sorry songs but they have to be for probables. And a lot of people don't understand that we choose these songs because it seems to fit probables well. It's not a matter of like, oh, I really like this song. No, I don't like this song. The song sucks. But, I mean, you know. Nats Pirates. Jeffrey Rodriguez, who spells his name Jeffry. Come on, man.
Jeffrey.
Come on, man. Ivan Nova going to pitch for the Pirates. Gave up a gazillion home runs the last time he pitched. That's what he does. Reds, Indians, Anthony DeScalfini, Mike Clevenger. Tigers, Rays, Francisco Liriano goes against Chris Archer. We got the Brewers and the Marlins, Chase Anderson, Jose Arena. Strong return from the DL from Jose Arena last time out. Rangers, Red Sox, Mike Minor, Eduardo Rodriguez. Breeze. Royals, Twins, Danny Duffy, Jose Barrios. We've got A's, Astros, Frankie Montas, and Garrett Cole. You know, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's right. Garrett Cole woke up and remembered he's a fake ace. 2-1 with a 4.34 over his last 5 starts. That's not terrible, but that's more of the guy that we got in Pittsburgh every night. Dodgers, Padres, Clayton Kershaw, Luis Perdomo. Cubs, Giants, Kyle Hendricks, Andrew Suarez. I better if his friends call him Andu. He's Andu. That's what he does. Crank it. I've always wondered what she's doing to represent not having a care in the world. What do you think when he walked through that door?
Sleeping?
Yeah, okay. Sleeping's good. I think knitting feels like that. Knitting feels like you've given up on life. Knitting might actually be more that you have too many cares.
But I could just see somebody in like a lazy boy chair.
Yeah.
Just, they were doing something. Maybe they have the
Knitting.
tools, the needles and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But just
out cold.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But there's a like ambient light. It's not total darkness. They didn't actively take a nap.
No,
It's just
no,
they fell asleep.
Without a care in the world.
Yeah. Maybe they were doing a crossword.
Right.
Oh, I like that idea. That's better than knitting. Knitting is depression.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're knitting, you're deeply depressed. Or you've been kicked into the corner so often, you're like, I'm just going to sit here and make an Afghan. So that's just, that or you were born in the 20s.
Well, I do watch Handmaid's Tale, and knitting does have a lot of
depressing
meaning
elements
there.
to that, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That makes sense. Anyhow, those are the guys that shall reside on the bump, as I like to say, and that will do it for us tonight. Good work out of you, Tom. Good work out of you, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.